Good afternoon. I am Joe Honk, and the Tennessee Titans lost yesterday to the New England Patriots before the bye week. But there was some improvement from the team, at least from Ryan Tannehill's point of view. He actually believes that the offensive line played well.
Proud of our guys. I felt like the offensive line is probably their best game. Without looking at the tape, just seeing the way they're pushing piles and finishing, it felt really good from my perspective of just watching those guys run the football and be physical and finish. I think that was definitely a big step in the right direction. Defense has played some really good ball for us. We just have to be able to reset and do it together.
And the Titans get ready to reset before Jacksonville next Sunday. But if you need a little bit of help, you need to go to USSTN.com for all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, National? 3HL is on the air. Happy freaking Monday. Brent Doherty with you. There she is, the queen of sports talk radio, Dawn Davenport.
I hate that, but hey, happy Monday. Coming in hot, baby.
How about the queen of the Tulsa SMU sideline?
In the pouring rain.
Oh, it was raining, Babs?
Are you kidding me? It was miserably raining. I mean, like to the point where I couldn't pack my coat back in my suitcase because it was soaking wet for the next day to travel home. Yes.
That ain't fun.
No, that was not fun.
Congrats to Jacob Whitehair, who was first in the Zone TV chat feed today on Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube,
on your
and
game
Twitch.
On a Monday.
And I beat Ron Slay in there.
Watch, please.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Wait, I did on this, on my phone. I didn't on this one.
That's
How
right.
is that possible?
Yeah.
Hi, Ron Slay.
Look.
Hey, Babsy. You did on there. That's wrong. Woo! Best believe. Know what that means?
We got some other big news out there, too.
What
we need to tell y'all about.
People, cut the music on. It's going down, people. It is going down. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody around the world, 3HL is now presented to you by Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com. Yeah.
Attaboy, Ryan.
Yeah. And now, presented to you by Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com. 3H.
Oh, my God.
Couldn't I have been the guy for the Titans?
You could have been the guy.
Thank
You
you.
sound.
Do you know
what
that I can't even, we're not allowed to say it, but like, Ready to Rumble, dude?
Yeah, you can't say it.
You can't say it because
I know.
you got to pay. See? You got
sound a little bit like
to
that.
trademark something on this
So
Ryan
do
Kelly
Babs.
intro.
Right, Babs.
Punk, I want you to find Ray Clay, Chicago Bulls announcer back in the day, introducing the starting lineup. That's what you sounded like to me.
I got hot
And
right there.
now,
I stole a little bit.
your starting lineup
That's what I stole.
for the Chicago
That's
Bulls.
what I stole. I stole a little bit of that.
Yeah, you sounded like him a lot more than me.
But that was my so whenever that guy's contract is up, Pan Man, hope you don't get mad at me, but I'm gonna challenge you, Pan, because I would have loved to do that job. I didn't even know it was happening until I saw Lucas retweet it.
You
You're
talking about the Titans
PA job?
PA job?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You would have liked that, dude.
Heck yeah,
You,
Babs.
I love
I may
you,
have got
Slay.
fired, Babs.
You're a liability.
You think Slay would have been questioning
Hey.
calls?
Oh my God.
Hey,
Guess
Mr.
what?
Ref,
No.
you might want to look at
No.
that again.
Hey, y'all, get that ref off the field
Yeah.
now.
That would not.
What is that?
I felt like I was back in my
just-
house for
I
a
don't
second.
know.
Is that what-
Listen.
That's what we jam
Hey,
to every night
So,
nowadays.
full disclosure show, Joe Hunt coughed so hard that he passed out, hit his head on many things on the way down. And now he's playing
he
Baby
looks
Shark.
like he has a black eye.
Look, I've been wanting to play Baby Shark for our man for about 2 weeks, and he's yet to come on since he lost the last time. He had the blood in the water pick.
Suffering from a concussion right now.
And yes, actually, I am. No, my body. I feel like I seriously got into a car accident.
Yeah.
I really, really do. I've got to take some Tylenol. My alarm went off just a second ago.
Wow. That
I am
was
so hot from doing that introduction.
I have the Bulls introduction for you, by the way.
Oh, I want to hear that.
It was right next to Baby Shark.
This is Ray Clay in the starting lineup for you in Chicago.
Here you go, son.
Central Arkansas, 6'7",
Love that you picked him.
I just went and got his book, too.
out of Southeast Oklahoma State.
Oh, that is
Rodman.
Man,
going back to the Rodman years.
This was the '96 NBA Finals opener.
I want to go back to this team.
7'2", Luke Longley.
I preferred Bill Cartwright, but that's okay.
I'm okay with that.
Ron Harper.
And here comes the GOAT.
That's what I was just about to say.
Man,
Hey, man.
Hey, what was Tony White's
I
quote when he
missed
got
that NBA.
drafted by the Bulls?
Oh, what did Tony say? You gotta have somebody to pass
He
him
said,
around.
no, he said, Jordan's game compliments mine.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was, yeah. Only the wizard. Only the wizard can say that and get away with
Hey,
it.
we got a lot to
All
get
right.
into. Titans, well, they lost.
That was way more fun than dissecting what happened on Sunday.
Yeah, we've also got rivalry weekend. There were some games, man. I was all in on Michigan, Ohio State. I was all in on Tennessee, Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I was all in on Alabama, Auburn.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Man.
what did I get? I got a nice little drop from Slay. Like, look at you. You got no confidence
we
in your
tried
team.
to tell
huh?
y'all.
I
plus
blame
19 and a
Slay.
half.
I blame
I
Slay.
blame Slay too.
No.
He called it over with a minute to go.
Dude, was it not over?
Tank Bigsby stays in bounds.
Oh,
All
yeah.
I'm saying.
So Slay sends that text. I thought we were behind.
But I did that because Babs
No.
was in a game and couldn't keep up with what's going on.
I wasn't watching,
Yeah.
so I wanted the updates. But then I'm like, oh, wait, 4 overtimes later, what the hell happened?
When he sent that text message when Bama had to punt. What is going on?
Well, Hunk's going crazy in there.
I love that things are just randomly
Oh
playing
my
on the
gosh,
show today.
Come on, Hunk.
going on?
Welcome
Hunk
to
and
3HL,
Neighbor.
Ryan Kelly. You never know what you're going to get on this deal.
I'm just keeping all the pots down
That's what
now.
you signed up
Oh,
for, brother.
man.
Keep the pot down.
Keep the pot
Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah, so Slay said that. I thought we were behind.
No.
And so I kept waiting for the thing to be over. Now, to Slay's point, number one, Bigsby needs to go down. He's got to figure out a way to get down and not go out of bounds.
You've got
Then
to.
on third down, I put this on Harsin. You got to play to win there. You are not going to run the ball and get the first down. No way. So you play fake. I know your quarterback's limping, but you got to figure out something.
I know your quarterback's playing on one foot,
That's it.
one leg.
Mm-hmm.
You got to win the game right there. You don't punt the ball back
The,
to them.
the tank thing, though. Come on. I mean,
That was
that's
tough
a
for the
what?
swallow.
That's a 40-second swing.
Tough pill to swallow right there.
You stay there. You stay in bounds. That's 40 seconds. That, ooh,
Probably should have gone for 2 in overtime. I mean, when you're the 6-5 team and they're the better team
And
and
you're
they're a
at
top 5
home,
team and you're in
you
home,
know
Play to
that
win.
it doesn't.
to win.
Exactly.
Just-
Exactly.
You
Listen,
got to.
I'm going to end it right here. Screw all this overtime stuff. I'm going
Yep.
to end it right here.
And if it
One way or
doesn't
the
work,
other.
that's all right. You
Yeah,
were
you
aggressive.
You playing with house money.
You went down
And
guns,
you're at home in the
guns
house.
a-blazing.
Man, it was
the
a
guns
really
of the Navarone.
fun weekend, though, on so many levels. And now we've got all these coaching changes.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely shocked at the Lincoln Riley move. I mean, you guys were too, right?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
get it, because who wants to step into the gauntlet that is the SEC? I totally get it.
I know.
If
Everybody's
it's
like,
an easy out like that, I mean,
Yeah.
so here's what I heard. So
I wouldn't take it. I
the
wouldn't
Lincoln
take it.
Riley thing. So you start asking, like, okay, LSU? No, I think it's just going to stay at Oklahoma.
Right.
And then, boom, USC.
Which
And USC must have had this done, and they were just waiting for the end of the regular
because
season.
there was
Because-
no panic from them.
Right, and once James Franklin signed a 10-year deal to stay at Penn State, you had to know that at least that job was taken,
Right.
right? So, it makes
Well,
sense.
and
Now,
then you had kind of heard rumblings of Matt Campbell, right, for USC. But for the most part, I mean, there wasn't a ton of talk of what was going on there.
That's tough.
And here
yeah,
you
so
go.
this from 24/7 Sports today. Arizona Cardinals coach Cliff Kingsbury dodges a question on being linked to the OU vacancy, saying, such a great quote. This is perfect. This is perfectly said. Anybody looking for more money in their own position needs to take this quote and just put it out there. Quote, not a topic I want to touch right now, end quote.
That's it. That's it.
What a great quote.
I'm not going to squash it. I'm not killing it. I have one more year left on my contract, Arizona. Get off your butt. Give me an extension. Pay me. Let's go. That's basically what you can read between the lines, I think. Because here's the deal.
Yeah, talk to us, man.
What's the deal?
How many times have I talked about it this year specifically? Because when we were talking about Dan Mullen, who I've thought for 2 or 3 years is done with the college game at this point and just needs his opportunity to go to the bigs. But who the hell wants to step into that college world of 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds with a free agent market where you can hop in and out of the transfer portal whenever you want and go somewhere else if it's not going your way and your career depends on you depending on 18-year-olds.
Preach.
Who wants to do that? And the recruiting part of it
Takes
now,
a special kind of person.
it's so, well, but I'm saying, like, if you're already in the NFL and you're having success in the NFL, why do you want to step back and have to deal with that? Because I get it, as a head coach, you can delegate and hire the staff around you in order to take care of those things, but you can't ignore it. And recruiting, I mean, you win in college through recruiting, period. It's it ain't the X's and those, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
No, and I mean, from a Tennessee perspective, let's talk about Josh Heupel, right? Because everybody wants to put him in the mix in Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
not going to lie. That would be amazing
I mean,
theater.
what?
Amazing
Typically-
theater
What?
if he bolted or if he was in the mix at Oklahoma.
You know what?
It would be unbelievable.
Let me tell
typically
you
I
this.
root for chaos, but
You don't root for that?
Let me tell y'all
I
this.
prefer not to have that happen.
Let me tell y'all this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart.
Uh-oh.
If that happened, I'm done. I'm done with sports at Rocket Top.
Why are you talking
For at
like
least
Shaq?
10
That's
years.
not-
For at least 10 years.
You're just
Why are you
so
talking like
crazy
Shaq?
right
10
now.
years. Because I mean this. I want to be
You're
safe.
Fucking so
No, I don't want you.
sound
I
like
don't want you.
Shaq.
I don't want you to laugh, man. I don't want you to laugh. This is dead serious. I don't want no laughter. If that
A
happens,
10-year moratorium?
I'm done.
It's not Rocky Top's
I'm
fault.
done. I just picked my heart up and put it together. It's back together.
I mean,
Leave me be, Babs.
We would have to
me
have
be.
a group for a lot of Tennessee fans.
Babsy,
Come and
I'm
talk.
telling you right now, Babs.
Come and talk soft like Slay's doing
That's
right now.
exactly what you got to do because this is a serious moment. You bring it all the way down. And anything else that is murmured about what's going on Rocket Top, if it involves hypoleaving,
Slay, can I tell you
it's a problem.
that I don't think it'll happen?
Well, let's get this party rocking. Turn it up, huh?
Just like that.
Let's go, baby. The hype train's still rolling.
All right, so we'll get into all that. There's so much to get into on this Monday.
Yes.
Also, Titans reaction. You want in 615-737-1045. Does Tannehill have the yips? I know he doesn't have pieces around him at all. I get that. But that man was in a clean pocket, missing people by like 5 yards.
I'm going to die on this supporting Cast Hill. I'm dying on it. I'm dying on it.
And guess what?
Are you with me?
I'm holding your hand while you off the ledge of the hill. I got you. Don't let go, Babs. You're right.
I think
Mayor's
all
on
of-
the other mountain.
No,
Man,
I think
man at
all
the
of
bottom
that.
of the valley.
I think all of that is true, but I think all of that has sent him down a very bad mental path. And I hope he can get it back. 615-737-1045. Here we go to break. Daddy Rack, straight Tennessee whiskey. Boy, I had some over the weekend. I was very thankful for Daddy Rack. And I was thankful for all the football I was watching. I was also thankful for being around family and friends. But Daddy Rack Tennessee Straight Whiskey, it's new. You need to try some today. It is that time of year, right? It is whiskey season. There is no doubt. And this is new. It's spectacular. It's a local product, too, made right here in Middle Tennessee. Try some today. You are going to love it. It's so smooth and so good. Priced right as an everyman whiskey at $29.99, so you can enjoy it by itself. You can enjoy it with some ice. You can mix it. Very mixable whiskey. And you can check them out online. DaddyRack.com is the website. You can find out the entire story behind Daddy Rack Tennessee Straight Whiskey right there. In fact, their holiday playlist, you can find that on Spotify. DaddyRack.com, the website. Daddy Rack Tennessee Straight Whiskey. Add it to your bar. Share it with your friends. Try some today. That's Daddy Rack Tennessee Straight Whiskey.
All right, let's talk about the holidays coming up. You want to be able to give the perfect gift, right? How about the gift of organization? How about Artisan Custom Closets? Say goodbye to clutter. Get a free in-home consultation today and let them make your gift this holiday to your significant other an absolute hit. They also have gift cards, by the way. You can do gift cards of any size. So here's the deal. Let's say you want to give the gift of a functional office space, a decluttered garage. I got that gift last year, and it was amazing. Or how about a show-stopping closet? You cannot beat this. And here you go. Or if you want to buy something for yourself for a holiday season, Artisan Custom Closets can do it for you. Don't just clean out areas, get organized. And here's the deal. Lisa Carlquist is the owner for Artisan Custom Closet. She's awesome. She's amazing. Locally owned and manufactured in the USA, right out of Marietta, Georgia, and then right here in Nashville, Tennessee. So you want to do local, you want to do made in the USA, you want to make sure you don't have delays, here you go. Call Artisan Custom Closets and they can help you out. Right now, they are offering 12 months, same as cash financing if you tell them Dawn sent you. So let's get that holiday gift going. You cannot lose with this. ArtisanCustomClosets.com and the phone number 615-800-2199. ArtisanCustomClosets.com at 800-2199.
Can we even talk if he's not in the room yet? Joe Hunt coming in here to correct some moonlighting. Moonlighting. Oak Hill basketball over there.
Moonlighting.
By the way, people getting on us
moonlighting.
saying it's funny to watch us on the Zone TV feed because they can't hear the music, but we're like sometimes chair dancing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we juke. It's called juking, what we do. See,
Is that what that is?
Juking and bopping.
I've been trying to play a whole lot of music for baby Babs lately because I'm worried she's going to get my rhythm and not have rhythm.
No, man.
You got rhythm in half your body. Except for Soldier Boy. You can do that one.
Oh, yeah. I got
We're going to
Soulja
take Baby Babs riding in the Sprinter van. We're just going to have a little dance contest in the back. She's going to be all right. Don't you
Put a
worry.
disco
got
ball
a
up.
hell of a mental picture of that.
Yeah, you still slide all across the board and everything. It's going down.
The Tennessee Titans have placed Kevin Byard on the reserve COVID list.
Oh,
Good timing. Off
great
week.
timing.
Here's my read on everything. I think everybody needs a break. Fans included.
From the Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
They
felt
do-
worn out too after the game? Like, it was just like, oh, I'm glad this is
I
over.
felt worn out before the game.
Usually, most seasons, I hate the bye week because you want to watch them
Yeah.
play and all this stuff. But they need it for sure. But I think the fans need it too
Everybody need it.
to just take a deep
Yeah.
breath. Like they're 8-4, so it's not like
So
it just kind of feels like the world is over. But they've got a 2-game lead because of Leonard Fournette.
Well, if you know, yes. Oh,
Which
that
is
was
really a
hell of a
3-game
day,
lead with
Leonard.
5
Well
games.
done.
He went
yeah.
off. He went off.
So, let's say we go back to the beginning of the season, right? We have no idea what goes on, but somebody told you the Titans at their bye week at week 13 will have this lead in the division and will be 8-4. What would you say? Heck yeah.
Yeah, give it to me.
Great. They're in a great spot. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it feel like the world's ending just because it's been such a fall in the last couple of weeks? Or is it because of what you've seen from your quarterback?
Yeah, my concern is Tannehill moving forward. Once people start coming back, you just assume that he will get his game back, like Stella will get her groove back. I don't know, though, because, I saw some we've talked about that. This is becoming a weekly thing where he's just watching a route and not looking backside of the play. So not scanning the field, and then he ends up throwing it to a linebacker who's just standing there guarding yardage, just guarding grass. He just throws him the ball. That's happened like 4 times this year. Happened last week. We talked to Greg Cosell about. Happened again yesterday.
You're right.
So that's a concern to me because I'm starting to wonder if Tannehill has quarterback PTSD almost. And not to make light of that, I'm just trying to describe he's been battered and bruised and sacked 37 times and he's been hit a lot and all of these things. Because yesterday, according to Pro Football Focus, and John Glennon put this out there in a really good piece, from a clean pocket yesterday, he was 7 of 16 for 66 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And my concern was there were a couple of throws in the second half where he had a clean pocket. He stepped into the throw and threw it in the dirt 5 yards in front of a receiver, or threw it 5 yards behind a receiver. And I get all of the baseline problem is working with wide receivers that normally wouldn't be playing in the NFL in terms of meaningful minutes, right?
Yep.
And even more impactful is that he hasn't really worked with these guys. So, he's trying to figure it out, where they're going to be, when they're going to be there, all those things. But then you factor in I don't know where the pressure's coming from, and the offensive line did a much better job in the run blocking game yesterday, but he was pressured 16 times out of 27 throws or something yesterday. So I think it's all adding up to this just bad thing that's going on at the quarterback position to me. Now, you assume that when A.J. Brown comes back and when Julio comes back and and Derrick Henry reportedly back in January, that they'll just be able to get it back going, and that's the hope, and maybe they can, but it's a concern for sure, right?
Yeah, I think it is. But I think, to Bab's point, to answer Bab's question, I feel, yes, you take that. But the things that come along with it, do you want that? That's the biggest things. All the injuries, and they're saying in the zone chat right now, I'm tired of hearing injuries as an excuse. I don't think it's an excuse. It's actually real. When you got guys missing that play, and let me state this on record. Babs has been telling me, listen, at the end of the day, the practice players are practice players for a reason. I mean, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
Like, and if I was in the locker room and looking at it, like, it's only so I can't. So Brent, if they bring you up from you're a main guy, you're not a practice guy, but you're a practice guy right now. If they bring you up in this locker room, you're welcome, and they say we just signed Brent. It's Thursday, and we getting ready to go in this game on Sunday. Sunday we get to it, and you miss a couple assignments. I can only get so mad at you, Brent, because I mean, you only know what you know. Like, they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know what they know?
Yeah, I mean, you trying
because
hard.
they only know what they know.
Man, listen. The biggest thing
It's not their fault they're not good enough.
Now, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, what one person has always loved on teams.
If you get pulled over by a cop and you try to say, I didn't know that law.
No, well, yeah, come on. We got something
Ignorance
for
of the law.
Yeah, we got something for you.
Yeah, that's
come
right.
on back here. Make sure you get out with your hands so I can see them.
I think it's pretty amazing what they've done with playing 86 players.
Dude,
Agreed.
the person that's loved on teams all the time are the walk-ons.
Always.
Because they try so hard and they get in blowouts. And guess what you tell them? That's what I'm talking about, dog. Man, you deserve that. No, you ain't saying, man, we deserve to have you out there in the starting five and doing that same thing because it don't work the same. You don't get the same production because the person you playing against ain't the practice guy or the guy that loves you so much.
Like
or
the
the
two
people
running
chanting
backs. They go over 100 yards and they look great, but they both fumbled.
You feel what I'm
That's the
saying?
problem.
You pay for the ball security also.
I mean, and I will also die on the hill that that's a completely different ball game if Foreman doesn't fumble there.
Oh my gosh.
Then all of a sudden you're ahead. You're not having to play from behind. You're not putting more pressure on your quarterback.
Without
to
question. And then on the
Could y'all
defensive
see
guys
side.
that
Could y'all see that happening as he was running?
yes.
Because
Yeah.
I was like, these guys are going to catch him.
He was supposed to be high and
I'm like,
tight.
just go down. And then sure enough.
And it was like he kept lowering the ball, like, oh, put it down here. This is why. Listen, I went to the store this morning to get Lil Ron some bread so I can make his peanut butter jelly sandwich. And when I came out the store, I put the bread on my entire forearm and was carrying it like this. And I was like, dude, this is not why you're supposed to carry it.
You're
And
high
I
and
automatically thought, because I was watching the game this morning before I went to the store, I said, high and tight. This is what happened. He's not used to being in traffic carrying the ball like that. Why? Because in practice, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
You're playing like somebody else.
And I think Foreman was probably just as surprised as any of us that he was in the open field.
Like, and he looked at it like, man, is anybody behind me?
Oh, that's a quote right there.
Just saying, man.
surprise
And then on the
all of us.
defensive side, the same thing, man. Like, you got guys in that are really, really trying. They ain't David Long.
Well-
Some of them Pauls got the linebacker cut underneath on Jonnu Smith. He ran the route for him. It hit him in the hands. That's 6 the other way. When nobody else was in front of him, I can't think of his name.
I know.
I can't think of his name.
Dylan.
Something. But
He caused the fumble in the special teams.
yes, he
play.
did.
Yeah.
But he ran.
Dylan Cole.
He ran the route for him.
Can I just pause? I want you to go relive that conversation. Can't remember the guy's name.
That's what I'm
starting
saying.
linebacker.
Come on, Babs. That's all I'm
mean,
saying,
this is
Babs.
where
That's
we
all
are.
I'm saying.
This is
So-
why I don't get into the discussion about the back of the roster guys in training camp. I don't care.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
That
but
makes
now,
me an awful person.
now we have to care.
Yeah.
Because
If those
those are
guys
the
are
guys
playing-
that are now playing.
But if those guys are playing, you're in
Some-
trouble.
we-
So I
But we
understand
ain't in trouble.
that.
That's what's crazy.
I'm
Right.
pretty sure
Yes.
that Torrey Carter
So-
was the highest rated offensive player for the Titans on Sunday.
Corey Carter did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
So I
That man was
understand
leading
the
the way.
whole, I don't want to hear the injuries as an excuse. All of this to circle around
There you
and
go.
say, we just had to try and fight to remember Dylan Cole's name.
Babs,
Like, that's
it.
where we are. So I get the injuries. Oh, injuries can't be an excuse, but they are.
But they are facts.
And when we talk about Tannehill, I don't care if it's Tom Brady out there. When you're dealing with the supporting cast that you're dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to struggle at some point
Yep.
in some way.
Yep.
Because
I think it's in his head.
Cody Hollister,
Yeah.
love ya.
Yeah.
Love ya.
I-
Been a practice squad guy for a while.
and
Or you've been a bottom of the roster guy.
there's
Or a
nothing
special
wrong with
team
that.
guy.
You
And
still
that's
trying
great.
and fighting.
You're still in the league, but that's, I mean, did you see Buck's video of the wide receivers running out of the tunnel
Yeah.
or meeting? There's 3 of them.
Remember I said that last week. And dude,
a
at least
very
AJ
small
Brown was with him
party.
last week.
Right.
He wasn't even with him this week.
No.
Here's some more Pro Football Focus grades. These are some of the worst numbers these players have had all season. Amani Hooker, 29.3. Linebacker Jayon Brown, 32.9. Jeffrey Simmons, 48.6. Kevin Byard, his second lowest grade at 52.2. Not a single Titans defender posted a grade of 70 or above. Yeah.
So I like
Buster Screen was the highest rated defensive guy.
Buster Screen.
That's 69.
Yeah.
Can I say this, though? Like,
He
I
should've
felt
played in the
like
Tullahoma Pearl game.
Mike Vrabel and this coaching staff came in with the perfect game plan to win this ball game.
Yeah.
It was laid
Force
out.
field
You
goals,
saw
keep it in front of
exactly
you.
make the rookie quarterback beat you, put it on him.
Yes.
All of it was just right there for the taking.
Yes.
There were just dumb mistakes and huge mistakes at inopportune times. And early on in the game, and it's 3rd and 10, and you're not off the field defensively. Like it was small stuff that just added up. But I felt like the game plan was there.
Yeah, it was.
Here's some more from John Glennon. Quarterback Ryan Tannehill dropped back just 26 times, but was pressured 11 times. Right tackle David Quessenberry allowed 3. Taylor Lewan 2. Ben Jones 2. Brewer 2. Playing with the depleted receiving corps, Tannehill had little downfield success in the passing game. He completed just 2 of 7 passes that traveled 10 yards or more, totaling 38 yards and an interception. Tannehill's PFF grade of 54.8 was his second lowest of the season and marked his 3rd straight week with a grade worse than 60. One reason his performance from a clean pocket was not good, as Tannehill completed 7 of 16 passes, totaling 66
and that's where
yards,
you are on
1 touchdown, 1 interception. Like
that's
even
where
when
you have an issue.
even when he's got a clean pocket, and it's not just like, okay, the throw to Rodgers, that's a quarterback and a receiver that maybe aren't, simpatico, let's say. You got to hit that pass for sure. But
If you're that guy.
But there were a couple other throws that were like zone bit where a guy was just standing still and he still like threw it at the dirt. Like, I don't know.
Man, listen, I'm going to tell you,
I
I'm
hope
going
he
to
can get
sum
it
this
going.
up for you. The man is sick. The man going to the restaurant, get a bowl of soup. He ordered a bowl of soup. The waiter bring the bowl of soup. He look at the soup, look at the waiter. The waiter asks him, what's wrong with the soup? He said, the soup too hot? He's like, nah. The soup too cold? He's like, nah. He look at him again, and the waiter look back at him like, well, why don't you taste the soup? He said, where's my spoon? Ha-ha.
Tannehill's missing his spoon.
He ain't got no spoon. He got a fork. Y'all want this man to eat the soup with a fork. Give him a spoon. That's why he need his guys.
Yeah, but I bet if he got mad at that waiter and threw the fork at the waiter, he'd miss him.
That's the sign for coming to America, too.
Dang, Brent.
If he's in the pocket,
Well,
if he was
he
sitting
would- he
still
would-
at the table, he would
Yeah.
miss it.
Listen, man, you got to give him his weapons, man.
No,
He's
I get it. I get
I'm
it,
with
for
you
sure,
on that.
for
And the only
sure.
reason I'm saying that is because when we were talking, people were talking top 10 quarterback, guys like A-Rod, Brady, Russell Wilson, like, they find a way to make it happen with these guys.
We
plug
have
and go.
never said that
No.
Ryan Tannehill
No,
is
no, no, no.
any
I'm
of those.
not.
so.
No, but
Except
in the
for the one
offseason,
stat I keep coming back to, quarterback rating the last 2
There you
years,
go.
he was number 2 in the
that's
NFL.
what but in the
He
offseason,
ain't that
leading
now.
into the offseason before they start getting guys who we gonna focus on, we're gonna focus on the pass rush or a new quarterback. Why do we need a new quarterback? He's a top 10 guy.
Right.
Top 10 guy got to make that happen,
JV says
regardless of who you got.
he's being paid $30 million though.
No, bankroll.
Ramon Foster on YouTube, laugh out loud. You a fool, Ron.
Taste the soup. The soup too hot. No. He said, taste the soup. Soup too cold. No, I can't taste the soup. Ha ha.
So who's the spoon?
I gotta go see. Yeah,
You did
exactly.
You did get the aha right there.
Yeah, I gotta go see
Henry.
Coming to America for that.
Oh my gosh! All right, Kevin in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Kevin, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good,
Good.
thanks.
Hey, I think Tannehill's actually a pretty good quarterback. You know, he's going to rise to the
Well,
level
I do
of players
too.
around him.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't have any weapons, he's not one of those players that's going to take it all on himself. So my question is, when does Logan Woodside come back? I don't know why the Titans went out and signed Deshaun Kaiser and Kevin Logan. Weren't they the quarterbacks on the Cleveland Browns team when they went 0-16?
Yeah, so
Or
they
both of them?
they like to have 2 up and 1 on the practice squad. So when
Just in
Logan
case.
Woodside went down on COVID reserve, they signed Deshaun Kaiser.
He's already gone.
Here's an indication of where they are with Logan Woodside. Deshaun Kaiser, as Don just said, was released right when we started the show today.
Yeah.
So he should be back.
Okay, real last quick question. I think they have to win this year. How many games do you think the Titans have to win to make the playoffs? And of the 5 remaining games, and I'll hang up a list of the 5 remaining games, what games do you see that they should have a pretty good chance of winning?
Thank you. Appreciate the phone call. It's a combination of 3 things, whether it's Titans wins or Colts losses. So, obviously, the Titans are on the bye this week. The Colts are at the Texans, who are 2-9. So, theoretically, you're looking at 8-4, 7-6. I'm not just writing off wins because you can't do that in this league, but, I mean,
Clearly,
all things being equal.
Jets, Texans.
So, here's the remaining Titans schedule. The bye week this week, which they desperately need, unlike maybe any NFL team in history. Then they have the Jaguars at home. They have several players that are eligible to come off IR between now and then. So at that point, you start to think maybe this team can get significantly healthier as we move forward. Bless you.
Thank you.
At Pittsburgh, who is 0-2-1 in their last 3, they're struggling. They just got waxed by Cincinnati.
Average team. Yep.
Pittsburgh,
49ers here.
they said they have a pretty good defense, though, right?
Average.
Well, they got beat 41-3 yesterday.
Average.
I mean,
Was that the final?
It was
41-3?
real bad.
Something like that.
Real bad. And that O-line against this pass rush, I'll take this pass rush all
Should
day
have bet
long.
it, Slay. Ugh. I was in Florida.
I did bet it. I thought.
Oh, you went the other way. See, that's the love for your brother in you.
But he ain't done no more, so ain't no more love there.
true. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Go
You got to take emotion out of it, right?
No,
Like
every
you
bit
did
of
on the
it, yeah.
Titans-Patriots game.
You better believe it. That's right. I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to that too.
49ers at 6-5. They've won 3 in a row. But before the Titans play them, they play at Seattle, at Cincinnati, and Atlanta. Dolphins 5-7. They've won 4 in a row.
Yes, they have.
Before the Titans play them, Dolphins have Giants, bye week, Jets at New Orleans. Then they finish with at Texans, who are 2-9.
They could be on a 7-game winning streak going into that game.
Yeah, for the Colts, at Texans, bye week, Patriots, who have now won 6 in a row, at Cardinals, who are 9-2, Raiders, at Jaguars.
That's a tough schedule.
My guess is the Titans still do it.
They win
They've
3.
got a lot of room.
They're guaranteed to win 3 of them.
More of your phone calls when we come back. 615-737-1045, talking
Not
through
guaranteeing anything.
this Titans 2-game losing streak right here on 3HL.
What up, people? You know who it is. It's me, Ron Slay. Yes. You got to go get your car. Where would you go get your car? I would probably, more than likely, probably guarantee it. 2430 Gallatin Pike North. That's where I'm going to go. Music City Autoplex. That's the place for me. This is what I'm telling you. If you don't feel comfortable enough walking into the dealership, which you should, but if you don't, you can go to musiccityAutoplex.com and get everything you're looking for. Just scroll. Very easy to navigate. You can get it. But if you go on the lot, it's very easy to navigate too. You may have to say excuse me to a couple of the cars that ain't going to move because there's so many parked right there. But you can still get in there. You hear me? You can still get in there. And you go in there and you tell the people exactly what you want, and they're going to make sure that you walk out with exactly what you need. Guaranteed 30 different banks that can work with you and make things happen for the customer. Start to finish. Great experiences is what you're going to have. You can tell Music City Autoplex is thinking of their customers long term. They want you to come back for your next car, just like I did for my first and my second, and it'll be a third. 2430 Gallatin Pike North. Go get your car.
I want to tell you about my friends at Accurate Mortgage Group. This message is from Mike Hoover and Joe Stanford and their entire team of local pros over at Accurate Mortgage Group. Simply put, they'd like to sincerely thank their clients for their business. They say it's been an honor, especially in this tumultuous year, to help so many Middle Tennesseans take advantage of continued low interest rates. They look forward every day to helping someone buy their first home, a new home or to refinance in order to take cash out, lower a monthly payment, or both. If you haven't looked into doing this yet, Accurate has great news for you. If you start now and close in December, you could give yourself a New Year's gift of not making your next payment until February. Close on a refinance, and you could be lowering your rate while possibly saving hundreds of dollars per month at the same time. Now, that's something for which you can be thankful. Visit Accurate Mortgage today at AccurateMTG.com. That's AccurateMTG.com. Accurate Mortgage Group, a division of Acopia, LLC, is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 4664. Tell 1045 The Zone. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport, who is dancing right now. You can see that on Zone TV.
Who's going to LSU?
That's a good question.
It's not the guy that kept hearing this song in Oklahoma or at Oklahoma State on Saturday night.
Was that not hilarious? They would play it. Oklahoma State played it during timeouts. And then Lincoln Riley ends up going to USC.
I'm gone.
What should they have played?
That was a great football game. Props to Oklahoma State. My buddy Stormy Warren's a huge Oklahoma State fan, so I was texting him during that deal. And
I'm a huge Gundy fan.
Going back to
Oklahoma
Cali.
led by
His mullet.
2. Punt comes down inside the 10-yard line. Eric Gray fumbles. Oklahoma State then scores and wins.
Then the alarm clock went off, and they woke back up and found out that it was the same story.
Sometimes the grass isn't greener.
Well, you know what, Mayor?
Eric Gray, last 8 games, 25 carries, 107 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's 13 yards per game. Sometimes it is greener. Ty Chandler over at North Carolina, 173 carries, 1,063 yards, and 13 scores. And now, all those Oklahoma players that were at Tennessee are going through that same thing again.
Groundhog Day.
I like
the alarm
Ty
went
Chandler.
off. They woke back up. They're in the same.
I like them
bed.
both. I talked to Eric Gray after a couple of different times after Tennessee games. Anyway, yeah, so
Man, sometimes that's why before pulling the trigger on the ideas or decisions that you're going to make, you got to have somebody to bounce the ideas off of, man. You got to.
Speaking of, Tyon Evans.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Gone.
He gone. That is interesting.
I don't think we didn't talk about it because we weren't on the show Thursday or Friday.
Right.
There were some on this show that were not surprised by that move.
No, which is immediately what we texted.
Yes.
And then you start to hear some things going on behind the scenes that, we'll leave there. But wish him the best for sure. Very, very talented running back. We are building a field of toys to benefit the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels. Toy Field, presented by T-Mobile, is Tuesday, December 7th at Nissan Stadium. That's next Tuesday. So while you're out doing your holiday shopping, remember those in need this holiday season. Pick up a gift for a senior or a toy for a kid and help us build a field of toys at Toy Field on Tuesday, December 7th. For more information, 1045thezone.com. We'll all be broadcasting live, all the shows there. And basically what this event is, if you're new to town or haven't seen it, people just this town is so giving. It's amazing. And being from here and all that, it doesn't surprise me every year, but it's also awesome to see as we have a turf field laid out in the concourse. And so people just start bringing gifts, and we just stack them on this field. And by the end of the day, it's just amazing to see the givingness of this market.
We didn't get to do it last year.
Didn't get to do it last year.
Because of COVID.
So looking forward to it. And this has happened, like Brett Kern has brought stuff. Taylor Wan and his wife brought stuff a couple of different years. So appreciate those guys.
It helps so many.
Definitely
a good Christmas or good holiday season.
So that's all day Tuesday at Nissan Stadium. So go ahead and pack up the car and get ready to bring. And by the way, you don't even have to park and come in. You can if you want to come say hi. But we have people that will come to your car as you drive by, and you just kind of stop.
You don't want to come in.
Yeah, and they'll collect your.
But we
your
would love
presents
to
for
see you.
Right.
Yeah.
Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, and Ron Slay. And Slay, we have a new sponsor for 3HL.
Guess what?
What?
3HL is not only sponsored. 3HL is presented by Ryan Kelly and thehomeloanexpert.com. Now, let me I'm going to fly through it. The Home Loan Expert, on average, have helped clients receive $52,000 this year with a simple cash-out refinance. If you want to learn more about that, you need to go to homeloanexpert.com. Not only that, Ryan Kelly will talk you through it himself. I promise you. And he's a pro at it. This man knows it. Why wouldn't you go with him? That's why 3HL is presented by Ryan Kelly and thehomeloanexpert.com. How about that?
Thank you, Slay.
You're welcome.
Message on Twitter. How about some love on air for Tullahoma winning Friday night and making the state finals for the first time in school history?
Yep.
T-Town getting there. By the way, a lot of local representation in 3A. East Nashville,
the last Metro school left.
Congrats. They're playing Alcoa. In 4A, Tullahoma, as we mentioned, playing Elizabethton. 5A, Powell is playing Page. That was a great football game. Congrats.
Guess who gave Page a pep talk before that game?
Did you?
Holy crap! The team actually won after that.
And they made a comeback.
What'd you tell them?
Who asked you to do that?
Yeah, I got some friends.
Like, how did that happen? You don't have a tie to Page.
Huh?
You didn't go there.
No, I don't. I didn't.
Yeah, but Slay is everywhere.
No, I don't.
Like I texted him and
I
Ramon.
graduated.
I texted him and Ramon one morning because Ramon and our kids were playing in the same park playing baseball, and Slay's like, "Oh, I'm over here in Greenbrier." It was like 7 in the morning.
It was, yeah.
On a Saturday.
He's everywhere, man.
Everywhere. The 6A game, which, Don, you're doing 2A and 6A, right?
Correct. I'm
Summit.
doing play-by-play for 2A with Ramon. He's my analyst.
And y'all got a special guest.
Are you going to be in the booth?
I will be in the building.
Oh, my gosh.
I might not say nothing, but I'm in there.
You've got Hampton and Westview in 2A.
It's on the right, Bab.
All right, 6A, Summit and Oakland. So we get the matchup.
Yes, I'll be on the sideline for that one.
That's big
Summit
time.
and Oakland.
Division II
Kevin
class.
Creasy.
He's phenomenal.
I mean,
Kevin Creasy's
that dude.
He's the man.
I remember him from his Trousdale County state championship days.
Big 3HL guy, Kevin Creasy. Division II Class A, DCA and Nashville Christian. How about that? In 2A, CPA and Lipscomb Academy. The rematch there. 3A.
That'll be a good one, huh?
That should be a good one.
Hopefully.
Man, so
Lipscomb Academy
Man,
blew
so
out CPA
nervous.
in the regular season.
Uh-oh.
This is gonna be. Listen, I'm gonna tell you looking from a different perspective. Say he won't be able to tell you because he's looking at it from a dad's perspective also. But dude, this is gonna be a phenomenal matchup. Like two teams that really want it and really rely on each other. So it's gonna be a good one.
It'll be good. Hopefully. That's an 11 a.m. Eastern start, which is
Dude.
10 a.m. local time, which means they hit the
Ooh.
field at like 8:45 for
It's gonna
warm-ups.
be rocking and
There
rolling.
you go.
3A, Macaulay versus NBA.
That's gonna
And
be.
I
a good
remember
one.
Will Bowling because CPA beat NBA, and they were 1-3 at the time. And Will Bowling told me, he said last time they were 1-3 NBA, they went to the state championship game.
And you know what? You know who I'm putting my money on?
All the
I
local
just
teams.
had to wait. Yeah.
Are you still betting on New England over the Titans?
Listen, I bet on the, and everybody that was telling me I was crazy on Twitter. You don't believe? No, I believe. But I just didn't. I just knew what was going to happen on this game, so I took it under 6.5. I took the spread with the Patriots. Then they took the spread up to 7.5, and guess what I did?
Bet it again.
I bet it again, and won again. Boom.
You don't bet with emotions, Smokey.
Man, you got to take your emotions out. You bet with your emotions, man, your wallet going to be empty. I'm telling you. Mine's been empty a couple of times.
Monsoon Monahan on YouTube. What does 3HL stand for?
Huh.
Tell you when we come back. 615-737-1045 at 3HL 1045 on Twitter.
All right, you guys wrap up your Thanksgiving meal and family visits and all of that. Maybe your carpets are a disaster. You need to get them in shape before you have a next family outing. Insanely clean carpets, what you need. Zero Res is what you need then. Zero Res's powered water technology cleans and sanitizes surfaces without the use of detergents. There's no harsh chemicals, and your carpet will stay cleaner longer. No soap, no residue, equals soft, fluffy carpets. Your surfaces also dry twice as fast. Zero Res, that's who you need to call. Not only do they have the highest approval rating possible from the Carpet and Rug Institute, but Zero Res is also rated the #1 cleaning system in the nation by an independent testing laboratory. So when they clean, there is nothing left behind. And here's the deal right now. To the end of this month, you got a couple days here. Tell them Dawn sent you, and go ahead and book it, and you can get 3 rooms of carpet clean plus a free hallway for just $119. That's it. Some restrictions may apply. They're also doing $50 off of air duct cleaning. Call them now, 615-535-9376. You can book online at zeroresnashville.com. That's 615-535-9376. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk, and the Tennessee Titans have placed Kevin Byard on the reserve COVID list. They have also activated linebacker Joe Jones from the reserve COVID list, and he's been put on the active roster. And if you did not hear about Deshaun Kaiser being brought back to the team and placed on the practice squad, don't worry, he's been released. Now, one question that's been talked about a lot has been the play of the offensive line, and Coach Vrabel talked about that earlier today in his press conference.
There has been. I think there has been some times, where there was really good, firm pockets. And then again, you can find, evidence that that's not the case. We'll continue to work on all aspects of our passing game, our route concepts, and the timing and the protection. So I don't think it's just, can't just say that it's just one thing over and over again. And then there were times yesterday where they got in the middle of the pocket. Ryan scrambled, got 12 yards. So he used his legs. He did a nice job there. He was looking for Dez. He didn't throw it to Dez. Dez turned and blocked the guy, and Ryan got a few extra yards. So there's things that are good there, and then obviously just not good enough overall.
And we'll see how those are coming up next week as the Titans are on a bye before they take on the Jags next Sunday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to go visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, your flagship station for Tennessee Titans football, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air on 104.5 The Zone. Somebody asked what did 3HL stand for before the break. Lots of guesses coming in on the Zone TV feed. 3 hours long, 3 honest liars. That's pretty good.
I haven't heard that one.
3 hosts live.
Oh, okay.
3 hating lovers. 3HL equals best damn sports show in the country.
Oh, I like that one.
That's exactly what it stands for. Originally we were on 12 to 3. It was called 3HL, 3-hour lunch.
And then that went away.
I think 3 hours long is pretty good now.
That went away, and then somebody said it was more like 3 hours long. And then, by the way, Mayor's been on during all these changes.
I was here day
He's
one.
the lone
God help you all.
surviving host.
Why that hanging there, Mayor?
January
The lone
2010.
survivor.
January 2010. So
11 years.
You've been here almost like you're working on like halfway through.
Yeah. 5. I've been on this show 5 years.
We're going into 13, so a couple more years you'll be halfway through almost. There's that. There's Don Davenport. Hello, Don.
Hi. Love you guys. Hi.
And there he is, Ron Slay.
Hey! Why?
That was right on schedule.
Woo! Let's go.
Show.
I got something.
Best believe we got a new title sponsor.
I get dizzy doing that. Honk, kill the music. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls that come and listen to 3HL from all around the world. Now.
I feel like I'm at the circus.
Yeah, you should. 3HL is now presented by Ryan Kelly and the home Let's try that again.
Oh, my gosh, you screwed it up.
Yeah,
It's day one.
Yes,
Come
it's the
on.
thing.
It's day one.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all the kids around the world that like to listen to 3HL. We have a new sponsorship. 3HL is presented by Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com.
Ryan's going to be like, listen.
Woo! Yeah.
Cousin Andrew,
I
three-headed.
love you guys and all, but what the hell?
Three-headed legends.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
Jay Key, 3 handsome ladies.
now that ain't fair. It's only fair to one of us.
By the way, congrats to Nashville SC on a great season.
Yes. We love you minus your
Did
ties.
they just score? Was that the score?
Nashville SC just emailed us.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that the ties would have gotten to him, but the tie got to him.
Man. What'd you think, Babs?
Pilnick.
I'm so upset I didn't get to
I
make
would love for all of you listening to the radio to see my face on that one, but I would just imagine a nice gif of the little girl with the, the facial expression like.
Do you want to do this again? Is it GIF or GIF, Don?
It's
It's
don't even
Jiff.
I wish
It's
you tell
Jiff.
Ramon
It is
that
Jiff.
because Ramon
The-
keep on calling it Gil.
listen, Ramon. It's Jiff.
Thank you.
It should
Jiff.
be GIF, but the leader, the guy that invented it, says it's GIF.
The guy that came up with it, invented
God.
it. You have to listen
Man.
to him. Jiff.
How about you just gonna
Exactly.
randomly play that all the way
See?
through the show?
Yeah, 'cause it's
Jiff.
gonna happen a lot.
Jiff. Anyway, all right, carry on.
By the way, that's Frank Caliendo. That's not Joe Biden. That's Frank Caliendo. We don't do
What?
politics here, but we
No,
do.
It sure does sound just like it.
Yeah, which is funny to me. Jason Kersey writes, OU President Joe Harrods admits that, quote, we would have liked more notice, end quote. Dan Wetzel retweets it right. That's an all-timer of a quote. The Big 12 found out Oklahoma was leaving via the Houston Chronicle.
Wow.
The OU president, who knew they were going to the SEC and didn't tell the Big 12, is complaining that he didn't have more of a lead time.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Lincoln Riley leaving.
I was.
Yes.
Oh, you
The-
are.
Yeah, the AD just basically said, oh, man, I wish you would have told us sooner.
Pun fully intended, number one. But number two, yes, the beauty of it is that Oklahoma left without telling the Big 12. The Big 12 found out from the Houston Chronicle. So the Big 12 would have liked more lead time from Oklahoma.
They slid out on him.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I missed
Are
that.
you pregnant again?
No.
That's why you got to lock
I
the door.
clearly missed that. No.
By the way, Jim Nance
Here we
lives
go,
in
Jim.
Nashville now. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Jim, give us a shout.
Yeah.
And we'll
Okay.
get you to
that
really
makes
record
sense.
that.
Yeah.
And then we could stop using Caliendo. We could just use Jim Nance.
Hey.
I mean, you know what this all comes down to? Lincoln Riley was like, oh my gosh, I do not want to deal with the SEC.
I'm not going to do that gauntlet.
That whole Big 12 where a lot of teams just don't even bother to play defense, that's an okay place to be.
Right.
Or the Pac-12. What are you
Or
doing
the
with out there?
Pac-12, right. Like, oh, hey, look, I don't have to go beat Georgia and Alabama and
Florida.
Florida. Well, Florida,
Year in and out.
maybe Billy Napier. We'll see.
Yeah, but year in and
But,
year
you
out,
know,
like
I
Tennessee
mean,
has to do.
I like Billy Napier.
Tennessee. Here you go, Slay. Tennessee eventually.
Hey. No,
I mean, I had to throw eventually in.
you know what? I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Auburn.
Meaning Josh Heupel's not going to be the Tennessee coach 50 years from now.
Are people dropping his name into, I mean, the obvious ties of Oklahoma and him
I
playing
mean,
there
it's
and whatever
easy
else,
to
but-
compare the situation to the Lane Kiffin situation.
Right.
But they're very different.
How?
Number one, we've met both of them. I really don't think it's in the personality type of Josh Heupel to bail after one season of all the
I
talk
wouldn't.
and all that.
I would not put that past anybody. Any head coach,
Will
I wouldn't
Bowling-
put it
okay,
past anybody.
That's fair. Will Bowling put it out there today too, before we hit the air, obviously. But he brought up the fact that Lane Kiffin had an $800,000 buyout. Josh Heupel has $8 million. Not that $8 million would stop anybody. I'm just saying that's another difference in the deal.
There is a difference there.
Number three, Josh Heupel was fired
Whole
at
lot of it.
Oklahoma, and word around the campfire is there's not good blood there, and it's the same people in the leadership group.
That is your most valid point out of all of them.
Cousin
That's
Danny,
your most valid point.
Cousin Danny on Twitter, so happy to hear Adnan Davenport TN is pregnant again, LOL.
Jeez. Yeah, do you know what you just started? My husband's going to be like, hello?
You'll be like, hey, you going to shave that mustache now?
Was it the mustache?
No, I got rid of it.
I think that
You
conversation.
got rid of it?
Oh, yes, I did. It's
What?
gone. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what I utilized to get rid of it, but it's gone. We're good.
All right.
Your husband looks so good with that 70s cop mustache.
He was
No,
like
he
Lloyd. He was
doesn't.
like Lloyd from
Yellowstone.
Dumb and Dumber?
Yellowstone.
Oh.
No.
Without it, he might look like Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. Poor Travis.
Babsy,
Travis
leave
is
him
trying
alone, Babs.
Travis is trying to enjoy his day.
Man, just trying to have a good day, man. I like that conversation much better than the hype.
Not Hypo possibly leaving.
without
I
question.
mean, I don't think he goes anywhere. But anyway, it's just,
Back to-
just the thought of it happening
I don't
is
like
like
it.
the
I don't like it.
The similarities
world
on the
would blow up.
Been
on the
through
Lane
enough.
Kiffin and so here's some more on that. So Lane Kiffin was very transparent with the University of Tennessee in that he told them, my dream job is USC. They knew that. Mike Hamilton knew
From the
that.
get-go.
From the
Yeah.
get-go. So when the USC job came open, Lane Kiffin went back and said, look, it's probably not going to get to me, but if it does, that's my dream job.
Seriously, he was like number 12 on the list.
It got to
And
him.
it got to him.
That's the similarity with where Heupel is. So Oklahoma will take big swings at big-name people, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get that kind of guy. So then what are you looking at? So then it might –
Or Josh Heupel.
I mean, like Matt Campbell would make sense, but Matt Campbell makes sense to make every list at wherever there's a list. Makes
will
more
say
sense
this,
at Oklahoma
though,
geographically.
And I worked an Iowa State game this year, and I asked Matt Campbell, your name is always up, like what is it about Iowa State that makes you stay year after year?
Yeah.
Why do you stay? And his response wasn't selling me on Iowa State. His response was, look, I didn't get into this profession. I wanted to be a high school coach. That was my goal, was to influence young men's lives as a high school coach. So the money doesn't matter to me. I didn't get into this for the big name or the attention, all of that. Now, I will say this. He didn't say, oh, Iowa State's great and the people here and this and that and that. He didn't give me that. He just said, it's not about the money for me. It's about the ability to influence lives and change these young men's lives. And
First class.
I will say, all of his recruits, his building there or whatever, they just graduated. They're leaving. I think now is
plus
I think he realizes he can't win big consistently at Iowa State. He just can't.
His name is on all of these lists every single year. So
Mm-hmm.
don't you think he has stayed through enough of those to justify leaving at this point?
100%. And
We'll see.
his kids are now gone, You saw
would
the
be-
video.
That would be a home run hire for Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah. You
some
saw
of
the video of how emotional he
Yes.
was on senior day.
Some of the other names that I've heard around through talking to people, some of these will surprise you, some won't. Mark Stoops, Kentucky. But again, I'm going to go back to what we've always talked about. And I love Coach Stoops, and I think he's a perfect fit for Kentucky. He's the character actor in the show or the movie that every time you think of Mark Stoops, you think of that movie, that show. Like, it's hard to envision him somewhere else, right? Like, so that's kind of where I'd be surprised there. But Shane Beamer kind of surprises me that I keep hearing his name. 1 year at South Carolina, hell of a job at South Carolina.
Really
though.
has done a great job there. I mean, they had to have one of their coaches step in as a quarterback at one point. Like, that's where that program was.
Yep.
That's tough.
Your boy Jeff Lebby, I've heard his name pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive coordinator at Ole Miss. Josh Heupel, of course, and Brent Venables, defensive coordinator at Clemson.
I think Venables' name comes up a lot. I wonder if this is the time for him to jump.
By the way, speaking of Oklahoma, Sooners quarterback Spencer Rattler, no surprise here, hit the portal.
Real quick, the Lebby.
He would have anyway.
Is the Jeff Lebby thing a almost like a Rhett Lashley with Gus Malzahn thing? Like, he's under Lane Kiffin. We
Maybe.
know Kiffin is kind of the offensive guy. Rhett Lashley had to leave Gus Malzahn in order to go elsewhere because everybody just painted him in that, oh, well, you're the OC for Gus Malzahn. He really
had to start from the bottom again.
right.
Same thing. That's the character actor.
Same thing. Yeah. So, so I wonder if Lebby is kind of a similar thing, which, I mean, Lashley's about to be the head coach at SMU. So he's broken off. He's now finally got his chance to be a head coach. So
Very talented guy.
Dang.
And then there's Lane Kiffin, who's just having a lot of fun with a lot of people
he's
on
just
Twitter.
trolling.
That man, that's something else, boy.
He tweeted out a picture of a Louisiana license plate and a picture of a Texas license plate. I got to tell you, if I'm an Ole Miss fan, I'd be like, and you guys know I love Kiffin, and I know a lot of people don't. I do because he's entertainment to me. But if I'm an Ole Miss fan, just stop. Stop with that crap.
Then he tweeted out, he tweeted out a picture of the jet. It said going big game hunting.
Yeah. Mark Stoops did the same thing,
Yeah,
which
as
was
far as
weird
recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
because he had like a crimson red carpet getting off the plane. I'm like, can't you get a blue one? Anyway, details, I know.
If it was checkerboard,
That's
they
kind of a
would
big
still at.
detail. Like, red is not allowed in Kentucky.
Right. Huge detail.
It isn't Louisville.
That's why I said it was kind of crimson red. I was just
Okay.
giving him the benefit of the
wasn't
doubt, but
red,
I mean,
yeah.
it's red.
I mean, it's a red
See,
carpet.
I wouldn't even stepped on it. That's
No.
how to see. No.
Although they did just beat Louisville again.
Louisville.
They did.
That looked bad.
All right, what we got next? Voice of the Titans, Mike Keith. When we come back through HL, more next on 104.5 The Zone.
I want to talk about home values because they are sky high right now. And so now is a great time to maybe take some cash out of your home's equity. And to do that, Loan Pronto, that's who you need to call. They can fast track your home refi. They can get you a check for 60, 70, 80 grand or more. And if you call now, Loan Pronto will even pay your closing cost. It's so easy. You walk away with a big check and you can get that cash out now to, I don't know, consolidate some other loans, pay for holiday expenses coming up. Or a lot of people are looking to get cash out of their equity now to fix up their home. New kitchen, new bath, new pool in the backyard, whatever you want to do. Your home value is way up and you can get a new mortgage rate with an APR in the 2s. That's exactly what I did. I did it with Loan Pronto. It was super easy and I closed in 2 weeks. So easy. Call Loan Pronto now. Put that equity in your home to work towards financial freedom. 615-499-5780. You can visit them online, loanpronto.com. You could even skip your next 2 house payments, too. That's great timing. Call 615-499-5780, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet that you deserve for $20 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And ask how to get 12 times the internet speed for the same price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine faster downloads, more streaming. The possibilities are endless. Or score a $300 prepaid card when you get gig speed internet during the Xfinity Black Friday sales event. That means powering a house full of devices when everyone's home this holiday season. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay. Ends December 6th, 2021. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet, 50 megabits per second. Customers only. Equipment taxes and fees are extra and subject to change after the term. Regular rates apply.
You guys, we are so excited. 3HL has a new title sponsor.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know who the most interesting man in the world is. It's this guy right here.
And this man is Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert.
You guys are all pretty interesting too, and you've had a heck of a career, sir. So I won't take the claim as most interesting man in the world, but I am the fastest in the mortgage business, guaranteed. I can close loans in 14 days or less. I give my clients the best customer service on the planet, and they know that, and they refer like crazy. They send more people our way. We're blessed. We're happy for all of our past clients, and we're so excited to be kicking this off and being part of the 3HLA family. We might have to make it 4, a 3+, or something like that. I don't know. But
the more the merrier, right?
That's right. Obviously, a huge fan of the show, and you, all of you, and the whole station. Everybody's just been so big in our success at the Home Loan Expert. So we're just honored. We're humbled to be in this position. If you're a homeowner out there, learn more about us and visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
Patriots 2 of 6 on third down. Jones in trouble. Sacked! Kevin Byard!
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, and Ron Slay with you. The voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, joins us as he does every Monday at 4:20-ish. Mike, what's up? How are you?
I like the ish.
Ish. That's
Ish.
I was kind of
Do
thinking.
you like the call? Hold on, that we introed this segment with. I mean, a Byard sack.
It's well
It
schemed.
was good.
Yeah.
It was much of a call, but it was a good game.
It was a well schemed play.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a little positivity
I
here
thought
on
for
this Monday.
I thought for a second that the ball was going to come out on that one. Like, do you ever anticipate things like that?
I get in trouble when I do.
Yeah.
So I try not to, Brent, because I think as a fan, you see things and you're like, oh, I think this, and you just can't sort of go there. Or I try not to. I certainly am guilty of doing it sometimes, but I try not to because it's a dangerous game.
Or like when a running back breaks it and you're just waiting for the guy to catch him from behind and rip it out, which actually
Yeah, those plays always make me very nervous.
Yeah.
Because when you see the guy coming from behind, I mean, I go back to Terry McDaniel running down Hank the Tank Phillips from Mississippi State and ripping the ball out. I guess it was 1990 maybe. And, so I've seen that play so many times. That one makes you nervous, especially for a guy like Foreman who hasn't been in the open field like that in a long time. And, that when you haven't been hit and you're not used to all the contact and guys coming at you from different angles, I mean, that's what happens sometimes. And that's not an excuse. It's just kind of how it works.
Have you ever seen an NFL team in more need of a bye week than this one?
No, I've not.
All the way
not,
around.
I've not seen a Titans team with this much of a need from every standpoint. And I think what you're talking about there too is you're talking about the challenge of the 12 games, 2 West Coast trips included in there. All of the injuries, obviously, just a lot of the mental and physical fatigue as you're just trying to figure out how to get through it. I mean, this group needs a break desperately. And, you really felt it as you left the stadium yesterday. You were like, okay, not great, had a chance in the third quarter. You got the ball with a chance to take the lead. You kind of like where you are at that moment. And then when you don't score at 26-13, the game's over. That game's over. And so you lose and you're disappointed, but then you realize, you're still right in the thick of it. And you've gotten a bye at a moment where, it's desperately needed. And, one of two things happens. You either get the thing back on track and you make a run at it, or you don't, and you don't. And I don't see it being something in between. I think that's what you see coming off this bye week is the Titans either get it right back on track or they keep fighting a car that they just can't seemingly control.
Mike, that's it, man. Not only does the team need this, I mean, it feels like after that game, it feels like the team has been through and the fans have been through an entire season. Like it felt like, man, this is it. And I hope when they bounce back from it, it's like when you go on vacation and then you walk back into work, you're ready, you're energized, ready to get back to it. And you heard that from Vrabel a little earlier today when he was talking to Jim Wyatt, and he was saying that it was some of those plays, man, our guys just wasn't quick enough, just didn't have that extra step. And that's nothing but fatigue. Like mentally, you're there, you're ready to get through it. It's the next man up and everything. But at some point, the war of attrition kicks in. And I think that's what happens because New England gave the Titans plenty of opportunities. They missed throws too. They missed interceptions. They did a lot of things where that's why the Titans were still in the game.
Yeah, they had it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like.
Well, the funny thing is the game in terms of the flow wasn't vastly different from the Houston game. Now, certainly the Patriots had more yards, but I mean, it was 19-13 at one point. in both games, and the Titans had the ball with a chance to take the lead.
Yep.
But it was like you were fighting uphill. It's like missing the first extra point.
Yeah.
So you never got it to 7-7. You never got the game even.
Mm-hmm.
Having the penalty on the first punt, which set up the easy score. Those sorts of things are things this Titans team was 100% not doing earlier in the year. When they beat Jacksonville on a day where they didn't play great, they played every situation well, and Jacksonville played every situation wrong.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the Titans had the same look that Jacksonville did in that game in those moments, and that's the part of it that I do think comes from mental and physical fatigue. I would agree with that.
Yeah, and you look at it, Mike, and that's those plays that are made earlier in the season are the same plays that are made at this point if you also have those guys in the game to make those plays. Like if you got David Long there instead of, what's my guy's name? The linebacker, I keep forgetting his name.
Monty Rice, Dylan Cole.
Dylan Cole.
Yeah.
If you have David Long right there, Rashad Evans right there running that route for Jonnu Smith to pick it off, that's a touchdown. We've seen it. Like, we've seen them make those plays, but that's when you're flying around and you're fresh and you're into the season. I think it couldn't have come at a better time for them.
Agreed.
So when you look at Mike Keith, voice of the Titans, with us on 3HL, when you look at the IR numbers and things like that, it appears as if this team can get healthier over the next couple, 3-4 weeks. You don't know, like, in terms of timing, when people come off IR, are they ready to go and things like that. But I think there is hope there, right?
Sure. And I think there are a couple things there. Can Julio Jones get back? Can you get Bud Dupree back against Pittsburgh? Can you get David Long and Rashaan Evans back? Can you get Nate Davis back? But the other thing, too, is do you have a Golden Tate on your hands who's been with your team 3 weeks by the time he plays a game? Do you have Buster Screen who can help you on defense, who, when the team plays the next game, he will have been here 3 weeks?
Highest graded guy from PFF yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the whole thing is, do you have some of these guys who've had to play who are still able to play roles, but because they don't have to play as big a role, they can be more effective? And I think that's what you're really looking to. The big story to me yesterday that is the biggest positive was the play of the offensive line. Mm-hmm. The backs ran well, yes, but the offensive line really controlled the football game on the ground, and the sacks, I think you could say one of them for sure was a total coverage sack, and the other one may have been. Just what they were able to do against a good defense. To me, if you take that forward and you build on that, that's exciting. That's exciting to think you figured out how to get control of the offensive line back again, or the line of scrimmage back again. That's a really, really good thing for this team that hopefully they can build on.
Is there a concern there that Tannehill can't flip the switch when he gets his weapons back? Like, is there more going on there than just new guys around him?
No, I mean, and he didn't have guys open. That was the other part of it. He's getting balls tipped at the line of scrimmage. I mean, they weren't respecting what the Titans are doing. And even on the interception in the end zone, he's got to throw the ball. I mean, he can't run out of bounds. You've got to throw the ball in the end zone and give yourself a chance.
Was that a shot at Joe Milton?
You said that, not me. But my point is, you have to do, just like in the fourth quarter of the Houston game, you got to throw the ball. You can't, on third down and long, you can't not throw the ball. And so I think the situations of what in the first half, when the offense was pacing itself before the turnovers started, things like that, he was rolling along pretty well, and then you get predictable because you start to have some difficult situations either on the field or because of the score. And then then all of a sudden your personnel difficulties become quite obvious. I would think he's a frustrated guy. And I would think he's frustrated more obviously with himself because he's that type of person, but he's obviously frustrated because he knows this offense can be better. And I don't think it's much because of him. Listen, I'm sure he could have made a couple throws better, but I don't think Ryan Tannehill is any way, shape, or form the problem. And his numbers are a reflection of sort of where the entire team is, particularly the last 2 weeks, not where he is.
Mike, let me tell you this, man. You know I love listening to you and Coach Mack while the game is going on, and I always take something from it. This gem that I took from the game, this one goes to Coach Mack, and the play off of it that you had. Coach Mack said in the first half, after the flag had been thrown, Coach Mack said the ground judge needed to take time out and just leave the game. Like he need to throw his hat out, and if it's an alternate ref, he should come in and take his job right then and just leave the game. And he said, I'm not going to mention his name. And then when he threw it back to you, you said his name, and Coach Mack said, yep, that's him. Hey, man, I cried laughing, dude. I was like, hey, boy, I love y'all chemistry, dude, and I take something every single game from it, I promise.
Well, it's when we do the broadcast, it's his job to be opinionated, and it's my job to be informative. So when he was being opinionated, I felt that throwing the name in there was vastly important to be informative.
Right. You've got to paint the picture. I mean, the complete
picture.
It's
my job. I don't want you to know who that guy is to hate on him necessarily.
Right.
I just want you to know who he is, because I think it enhances the listener's enjoyment.
But how red was he when he said that?
Pretty red.
I know. I can see him now, man.
I mean, that is really a funny element to Coach Mack.
I love it.
It's because, and Mike, you know this, for all those years, you can't say anything about officiating as a coach, and now you get behind a microphone? Look out.
And he's just
he's very comfortable in his own skin. There's no question.
Yes, he is.
Oh, that's
he's
the West
very
Texas.
Comfortable.
Yes. All right. Well, Jags coming up. You know, it's funny. This time of year, we all get to scoreboard watching, and Leonard Fournette had a pretty big run at the end of that Colts game, didn't he?
Sure did. We were scoreboard watching because, I mean, we understand where it is, and the 2-game lead, which is actually a 3-game lead right now, is huge because, I mean, if the Titans go 3-2 the rest of the way, even if Indy goes undefeated, the Titans win the division. So, yeah, I mean, you would be remiss if you weren't aware of that, because what you know is if you win the division, you go to the playoffs and you have at least one home playoff game. I think, too, you know, for all the talk about falling out of the number 1 seed, I think if you look at everyone else's schedule, you get a pretty good idea that if the Titans could sweep their last 5, I think the number 1 seed might take care of itself.
Yep.
Because everybody plays everybody, and the Titans don't have to play any of them the rest of the way. You know, that's the whole thing is the Patriots have several tough games. And the Titans have tough games too, but I just think the fact that those teams at the top are all going to see each other a lot could be helpful if you're Tennessee and you take care of your business.
Well, we're looking forward to the bye week, Mike. I know you are too, and we'll check in with you later, man.
Well, you know, we've got the Vrabel show tonight. Coach Vrabel is on. He is on at the top of the show tonight.
Oh, okay.
So he's doing the first 30 minutes, and then Alex Marvez is doing the second half of the show.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a really good show. So if you would, get those questions on Twitter in early at Titans Radio. Tweet them to @Titans Radio, and we'll ask them all of the head coach beginning at 6 o'clock tonight.
There you go, Mike.
Mr. Enthusiastic.
Mr. Enthusiastic.
He's never called this show.
Is Mr. Enthusiastic going to call the Mike?
I don't think he never.
I don't know.
I think he got to run across Mike personally first.
Mr. Enthusiastic.
Oh, you got to get Coach Mack to tell you about him. It's a guy that calls his show when I listen to it. He calls Coach Mack's show every week. And he's
Mac Talk.
calls Mac Talk, and Mr. Enthusiastic is his name.
Well, there is no Mac Talk this week, so maybe this person should take part in the Mike Vrabel show.
I don't know if Mike Vrabel can handle Mr.
That'd be interesting.
Mike Vrabel might shut down Mr. Enthusiastic real quick.
That would be interesting.
Real quick, like.
You think?
Yeah.
Seriously?
I mean, and
Vrabel actually loves all kinds of things like that. So he might
He
actually
does.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves to give it and take it.
That'd be interesting.
Let's give it a whirl.
He's always positive. I know that when he calls Mac Talk. So we'll see.
Oh, my.
Thank you, Mike Keith.
Thanks, Mike.
Looking forward to Dawn at the Blue Cross Bowl.
Oh,
Hey.
thanks. By the way, just to tell you what a GOAT VOTT is, I'm doing my first football play-by-play for high school state football.
Oh, I didn't know it was your first.
I've done play-by-play.
Right,
It's
right,
the 2A game is what I'm doing play-by-play for. I just have not done football. So, of course, who do you hit up when you're doing football for play-by-play?
Vizot.
Yes.
The GOAT VOTT.
The GOAT VOTT, yes. And thank you. Mike Keith has given me a million tips and stuff that I was going into prepared to do this game that I was doing. And he was like, don't do that. So
You'll do fine.
Yes.
Listen, if I can do it, it ain't hard. So football's you got this.
But there you go.
Who's
Everybody.
in the 2A?
Just, it is Hampton, and that'll be their first ever appearance.
Yes,
Westview.
the
in
Bulldogs.
Westview. Yes.
Hampton to Westview.
So they have not been to the state title game, so I get to. It'll be a first for both of us. There we go.
And you've got young Ty Simpson.
Yeah, sure
Yes.
do. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Westview.
Yes,
So-
Martin Westview, who at one time had 2 players in the NFL.
wow.
Really?
Yes, they at one time, as a small high school like that, they had at one time they had 2 members of the Green Bay Packers roster. Chad Clifton was one of them, and Justin Harrell, the defensive lineman, was the other.
Oh,
They
man.
got a great tradition at Martin Westview.
That is
Mike
awesome.
bringing it, as always. Thank
As
you.
usual.
Thank
yes.
you, VOTT.
Thanks, Vaught.
See you guys.
All right,
Take
VOTT is voice of the Titans, in case you didn't know. Presented by Farm Bureau
We
Health
just call him
Plans.
Goat Vaught.
Tighten up, Froggy.
Need great health care coverage at an affordable price. Let Farm Bureau Health Plans coach you through it. They've been protecting Tennesseans since 1947. That was Mike Keith on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. When we come back, we'll talk some college football with Chris Lowe. Plenty to talk about next on 104.5 The Zone. Buddy Allen Carpet One. That's who you need to go to for any flooring project you might be thinking about. Maybe your bathroom is overdue for a major overhaul. When it comes to beautiful bathroom renovations, the experts at Buddy Allen have got you and your family covered. Whether you're seeking a simple update like a small sink backsplash or a top-to-bottom revamp, they have the product, skills, and experts to make your vision a reality. Locally owned and operated by the Allen family for more than 55 years. Zach, Jen, and Judson Allen are in the store every day. 2405 Lebanon Pike and Donaldson, 615-883-3289. BuddyAllenCarpet1.com. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent, Don, and Slay.
It sound better. It sound better like Brent, Don, and Ron, though.
Brent, Don, and Ron?
Yep.
It does, because Don and Ron rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like
they may not
Like
know
Ron,
what you're
John,
talking about,
Don, Ron,
It sounds like a fireworks hut.
Don.
though. Brent, Don, and Ron.
Come to Brent, Don, and Ron and get your fireworks.
Yeah. I know. They might be like, it's
You
a
know.
new person on the show.
You know all about it, too.
What?
Fireworks.
Yeah, I got hit with one.
After we were, like, telling you, be careful.
That's why.
'Cause
Y'all kept saying, be careful.
Davenport was really nervous about
She
you.
was nervous.
Don't get
On
me
July
started on
4th.
that fireworks stuff.
You got hit in the
I like
knee,
it.
didn't you?
Yeah, I got shot in the knee.
Imagine if it would have exploded at your knee.
Yeah. It hurt, though.
You
And it
wouldn't
was
be
fire.
playing any of your pickup basketball.
Yeah.
My grandfather got shot in the knee by a tank.
Tank?
It's a little bit different than a firework.
By a tank?
Yeah. He survived.
What did
He
his
got no
knee do?
knee.
It like grazed him. But he
Whoa.
said the funny thing about it was after like a 19-mile hike and they were getting
The funny thing?
well, that's what he said.
So humorous. Listen to this.
So he goes over this hill and this German tank's sitting there and boom, next thing you know, he's like, what do I do? So he crawled up underneath like the gun part of the tank. And he knew the guy wouldn't come out because he would just shoot him. So he waited for his troops to get up there. He was like, I'll go get that last mine. Famous last words. Anyway, it's a lot like your story.
It's the exact same.
Yeah.
Same scenario and everything. And Slay's, struggling to get up out of bed, and your family members over there going up and hiding under tanks.
Oh, no, I'm up. I get right on up.
He did tell me he didn't talk about World War II much. Like a lot of those guys don't, right?
Yeah.
But we watched Saving Private Ryan together, and that first scene when they're storming the beach, he said, when the movie was done, he said that was the most accurate World War II movie I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
That's wild.
Because that beach scene in that movie at the beginning, I mean, it's unreal. He goes, they went up on Antio Beach.
I love that movie.
But anyway, so where are you in Yellowstone now?
I am season 3, episode 6.
Be prepared. Last episode of season 3, you got to watch the first episode of season 4.
Okay,
And that's a 2-hour shot.
I am rolling. Soon I may stop and just wait on Babs to try to catch up with me.
All right, let's go to CJ in the borough. Next up on 3HL. Hey, CJ, what's up?
Hey, what's happening, boys? And it's Dawn. Let's just get the cat out of the bag here. I think we all know that the Titans are pretty beat up. I use the analogy that they are more beat up than a punching bag at Rocky Balboa's house. I think they desperately need the bye week, and a lot of us need to calm down. Then the second thing I want to talk about is really my goal to become the best broadcaster that I can be. And I attribute a lot of that to listening to Mike Keith as growing up as a kid.
No question.
I find myself doing certain things that Mike always does during his broadcasts, like telling you where the teams are going up and down or left and right on your radio dial. I find myself doing that, although it's not necessarily on radio dials as much anymore as it is streaming. So basically what I'm trying to say, shameless plug, is I am a free agent broadcaster, and if there's anybody looking for any sort of sporting events anywhere,
I'll let CJ.
Find me on Twitter. Like, find me anywhere. I will give you my information necessary. I am right here and ready to grow.
CJ, I love it, man. Hey, nobody can sell you like you, right? So good job there. And CJ and I and Mickey and a lot of us go way back, and I'll say this about you, CJ. You will work hard. So if somebody is looking for that next guy, I'm gonna put you on hold, CJ. I'll give let Hunt get your number just in case somebody needs you. All right?
Sweet.
Thank you, appreciate it. He's been chasing this broadcast thing for a long time.
I like
He's
that.
a good dude.
I like that.
Ask for critiques and sends his work. And
oh, yeah, there you go.
yeah, I know CJ.
There you go.
Send me something, CJ.
He'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a voiceover though.
How's TSU going?
Oh, that's going fun.
That's going fun.
Yeah,
I like that.
You know what?
That's a great quote.
That's another T-shirt idea. We don't have the damn whiteboard.
That's going. How's that going? It's going fun. You know what? You know what that came from?
I got to wear my T-shirt I got from Slay.
Do we have a whiteboard sitting right next to you?
No.
Oh, that's the Army-Navy 3HL
That's our Army-Navy thing.
Yeah, man.
Which we're going back.
Oh, yeah, we are. That was a little wrong language that I
weeks.
just spoke in.
That's going fun.
That's what he would
I
have
like
told
it.
me.
So you
I
were.
I would have corrected him.
How are you? Are you?
I'm having a ball. Now that I'm getting.
I know that I joke that you're a liability, but but sometimes I do think you're a liability. So how's that part going?
Yeah. So this is the thing. I got different characters that I go into.
Okay.
So on that broadcast, I'm a different character.
You're the professional. Just analyze what you.
But I'm
see.
still me.
But yeah.
So it's I got a lot of good
excitement.
feedback. Yeah. Got a lot of
we
good feedback.
Will you please remind us when we? Thank you.
I probably won't.
I know you won't.
He never does.
He never does. I see it on social media.
Yeah,
I'm like,
After it happened.
Yeah,
afterwards.
I never do, honestly. Yeah. But it's fun though. Especially learning now that I understand what Greg Poe when he's gonna talk, you know what I mean, it's good. Like we're getting a little chemistry. You gotta have chemistry for that.
Yeah, that's the first thing.
Team
Especially
game.
in basketball because it's such a fast sport to do.
And it takes a little while.
Told me that. Yep. So
football just sets itself up perfectly for you to tell the story. You know, basketball, you got to leave a lot out.
Mm-hmm. Having fun, though.
So, good. All right.
But football, every play kind of matters. Basketball, not
I
necessarily.
didn't know you hadn't done play-by-play in the
Not for
state.
football. Yeah.
Good. That'll be awesome.
You did basketball?
And you get Ty Simpson.
Mm-hmm. I've done basketball and volleyball for a while.
One of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Who came on our show?
Twice, I think.
So did.
Yes. I like that kid.
And back to back.
Very good. Hampton and Westview. That's the 2A game. All right, when we come back, we're going to visit with Chris Lowe. There's all kinds of stuff going on. There's like LSU and Brian Kelly is now a thing. So
is that a fit?
I don't know.
I don't think
I think
it
that's
is.
more money for Brian Kelly at Notre Dame, maybe, but we'll see. We'll ask him about it. See, right now, LSU targeting Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly. Yep. Jill Thaw.
That's too hardcore for him down there.
All right, we'll be right back. Chris Lowe next on 104.5 The Zone. Action247.com. Bet local. This is the only local legal sports book in the state of Tennessee. Action247.com. Check them out online. Get signed up and see what all they have to offer. What they're offering tonight is, I'm looking at it right now, Seattle and Washington. It's been a pick 'em all week. Now Seattle a 2-point favorite in tonight's game, probably because Nigel Warrior came off IR. That would be my guess. Probably not, but I did see that happened for the Seahawks. Seahawks -2. Over under 47. I love the under 47. Last night, watching the Ravens as they had a 3-point lead, and Justin Tucker came on to kick what could be a meaningless field goal to put them up 6, but still a 1-score game. Drilled the field goal, took it over the 3.5, and even though I can't stand the Ravens, they helped my pocketbook or wallet. That's what I have, wallet, not pocketbook. Anyway, action247.com. Get the apps, and it makes it easy to check, just like I did right there. And you can get rolling and betting on sports. You got bowl season coming up, NFL, the end of the regular season, playoffs, all that coming up. So action247.com.
Good evening. I am Joe Honk. The Titans are in their bye week, but doesn't mean that they are not making moves. Kevin Byard has been added to the reserve COVID list. Linebacker Joe Jones has actually been activated from the reserve COVID list and put on the active roster. And don't worry, over Thanksgiving, Deshaun Kaiser was brought back to the practice squad, and then today he was released. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Happy Monday, Britt Doherty, Don Davenport. Hey, Don.
Hi. It's coaching carousel Monday.
I know. Usually we like to take as many phone calls as we can on Monday, but there's been so much to talk about today that we've kind of had to do. We'll dive back into that tomorrow.
Get into it.
Who was that? What was that voice?
Ron Slay.
Hey, I'm in the building.
Here we go.
Sleigh ride.
Yes, indeed. And guess what? I got an announcement. The announcement is 3HL is now presented by Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com. I don't know what. All I do know.
You sound like the Wonder Twins return to the Hall of Justice.
It get weird sometimes. I couldn't even control it. It just came out like that.
Saturday morning at 9.
Yeah, hey, that's what happens. Ryan Kelly, you know what? Y'all need to, hey man, listen, just call Ryan Kelly and talk to him. Figure out a way to set up a meeting with him so you can talk to him and just watch the energy that oozes out of this man. It's amazing.
At the Home Loan EX. At the Home Loan X.
Mm-hmm. You can catch him on all social media platforms.
On Twitter. Yep. That's awesome news.
Yes.
Glad to have him.
Sponsored and presented by.
That's true. Let's go to Chris Lowe, who joins us live during the coaching carousel. And, man, this time of year, Chris, I know you're getting lots of text messages and phone calls. It's that time of year.
Yeah, it is. You know, we probably had a feeling, Brent, that this coaching carousel, this high season was going to be pretty crazy. Because last year, because of COVID, there were some changes. You know, Tennessee brings in Heupel, South Carolina Beamer, so there were some guys who were fired. But it was nothing like it normally is. So I felt like because of that, there are going to be a lot more openings this year. I had no idea it would be to this degree. I mean, you're seeing guys get fired after being there for 2 or 3 years. You know, you're seeing – and here's the thing to remember about Lincoln Riley going to USC. If you go back and look over the last 5, 6, 7 years, 8 years, it's very rare, and I know fan bases all across the country have a hard time believing this. It's rare that a Power 5 coach, a sitting Power 5 coach, leaves an established job and goes to another Power 5 job. Think about it. Think about the last several openings. I mean, Kirby Smart was a coordinator. Ed Ogeron was a coordinator. Josh Heupel was coaching at a Group of 5 school. So, you know, on and on and on like that. There's just not that often. Shane Beamer had not been a head coach. He goes to South Carolina. So that's what was, you know, pretty stunning. Stunning that it happened so fast. But you just don't see that. You don't see a coach at a blue blood program like Oklahoma going to another blue blood program. And but, you know, so if some of the numbers I'm hearing that Lincoln Riley got, I'm not surprised. I think, you know, when you look at what Mel Tucker got, $95 million, Riley's is going to be well north of that with the kind of perks that usually only celebs like Ron Slay get. I'm talking about cars and jets and homes being bought. So it's a pretty sweet deal. And guess what? You don't have to jump into that snake pit in the SEC recruiting. You don't have to beat heads against Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher and Kirby Smart. You're out on the West Coast. You recruit that plethora of talent out in L.A. on the California coast, and you get to play in the JV league, the Pac-12.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, Dan Mullen's the one I can think of, Power 5 to Power, but he's already gone. So,
yeah, he was the exception.
But no, I mean,
Lincoln Riley. When Lincoln Riley goes to Oklahoma, remember he was a coordinator at East Carolina. He comes to Oklahoma. He's the coordinator at Oklahoma, and he gets the job. So, you know, you just it doesn't happen, you know, very often. Billy Napier goes to Florida. He's at a Group of 5 team, a Group of 5 school. So most of the openings over the last few years, just it's not Power 5 to Power 5.
So what's next at Oklahoma? Obviously, Tennessee fans are listening right now and want to know what you think about that position.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of concern. I've had it from a bunch of friends, family members about Heupel in Oklahoma. I think Heupel, I would not completely rule it out. I think he would be way down the list for a couple reasons. Number one, I don't know that Josh really wants to go back and jump into that situation right now. It didn't end ideally for him there. Bob Stoops is still there. Heck, he's going to coach the bowl game. So when you built what Josh has built in 1 year at Tennessee, clearly it's going the direction that he wants to go in. I don't know that he's ready, even though that's his alma mater, that he wants to go jumping back into that. I think Oklahoma probably is looking in a few other directions anyway. I know you're going to hear the Lane Kiffin name and people like that. See, I think if they're going to go get an offensive guy from the SEC, I think Mike Leach has got a better chance than Lane Kiffin, because he's got some ties to Oklahoma. He's got some support there in and around that Oklahoma program. I think Matt Campbell at Iowa State is another that makes a lot of sense. He's another offensive guy. He's coached in that league. He's beaten Oklahoma some. He would be another one. And if they go coordinator, and you look at the last few hires, of course, Oklahoma hasn't made many hires at the head coaching position in the last 25 years.
Right.
But it's been coordinator. Bob Stoops was a coordinator at Florida. Lincoln Riley was a coordinator there at Oklahoma. So they have taken chances on coordinators. I do think Brennan's going to be an offensive guy. I just think with what they've done under Riley and the way they've scored, put up points, it would be hard for them to go to a defensive guy. If they do, then Mark Stoops, Bob's younger brother, would have a chance. The other one is Brent Venables at Clemson. Now, Venables also sort of got pushed out of Oklahoma, so I don't know, where he is, with any kind of love affair or not love affair with Oklahoma. But he's a guy who's been pretty choosy and had opportunities to go to get head coaching jobs the last 3, 4, 5 years at Clemson, and he's not. This might be one, if they do indeed offer the job, that would be hard to turn down.
All right, the you talk about the snake pit, that is the SEC. Who is the big name for LSU? Obviously, with Billy Napier gone to Florida. Now you're seeing kind of Brian Kelly reports out there. Where are you hearing on that job?
Dawn, I'll be honest with you. We talked last week. I told you then, and I thought all along Billy Napier was going to get the Florida job. Yeah. I told you guys that. I've felt that. I've heard that. The LSU job has been a lot quieter. It was Jimbo Fisher's to turn down. I do believe that ship sailed past him. I do think that there was some interest in Lincoln Riley. I don't know whether it was something that had been going on for a while. I'm not sure about that. The latest rumor, and I heard this last night, Brian Kelly, I got to see that to believe it,
I don't know about the fit there, Brian Kelly.
That's an odd fit, man. I don't, again, what do you would call it, the snake pit or the octagon? I don't, at the end of the day, I think the result of that's going to be he's going to get some of the things he wants done at Notre Dame, facility upgrades, and a little bit more money for his staff. But again, this is one of those off seasons when you see another blockbuster move like that. But everybody I talk to in and around the situation do not think ultimately that he's going to go to Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised that Scott Woodward would reach out to him, because everybody knows Woodward's a big game hunter. He likes to get those big names, those splash hires, guys who are going to come in and your fan base is going to be like, wow. So if you look at those wow guys out there right now, there's really only a couple of them left in college football. Dabo Swinney, Brian Kelly. I don't think Nicholas Lou Saban's going back to Baton Rouge. He'd be another wow guy. There's just not many of them there. And so that's why I think Brian Kelly, if you're Scott Woodward, you say, okay, here's a guy who's been consistent as hell at Notre Dame. He's gone to the playoff. He wins 10, 11 games every year. Let's see if we can get him. But I don't see that happening.
So where does that leave LSU?
I don't know.
Luke Fickell, Matt Campbell, those
Ron
are the
Slate's
names.
phone been ringing?
Yeah. I mean, that's just crazy, that job.
Slay, you take it for about $6 million. You give him a little bit of break, will you?
Go Tigers.
It's a pay cut.
Go Tigers. Let me get my accent down. I'm on my way.
But Don, to be serious, I
am serious.
I mean, again, I think Mark Stoops
Don't call me Shirley.
would be a name there. I'm told. See, I think they should call Lane Kiffin. I think Kiffin makes a lot of sense at LSU. And I'll tell you, I think the coaches in the SEC would be like, oh, gosh, that guy with those kind of resources and that kind of talent, I don't think a lot of people would want any part of that. But I think, again, based on everything I've heard, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think LSU is going to go down that road with Lane Kiffin. I do think what's going to happen with Lane is he's going to get a really nice raise and bump there at Ole Miss, and we'll put him in the top 2, 3, 4 paid coaches in the SEC. So that you do the math, you're talking $7.5, $8 million.
Wow.
But LSU, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, and I know I keep saying that, but it could be any number of people if he can't get that, that big name. I mentioned Mark Stoops. I mean, is that a Matt Campbell? Does he fit in there? We're going to have to wait and see. I wonder if LSU's painted themselves into a corner a little bit. Have they sort of waited and swung too high? Swung for the fences and not got anybody, and now all of a sudden they're going to have to go to the tier B pool. It's going to be interesting to see. I still believe this. I think if it's not the best 2 or 3, I think it's easily in the top 5 jobs in all of college football.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, the only problem is the competition.
The competition and the cultural fit. Like, there is that element to that job.
And do they
like,
give it
I
time?
could not see Brian Kelly there as a fit at all.
They'd be
Like, I
going
can't
into
see
it.
him handling the fan base.
That's
yeah,
all.
the other name, John, I heard when I was at the Auburn-Bama game this past week was potentially Bill O'Brien, who's Alabama's OC. But, again, I think that would be, down the list a little bit. I'm sure there's going to be somebody. We're going to hear names probably over the next couple of days. This is the time of year when there are way more smoke screens out there than there is legitimately true information. So that's why when a lot of these things happen, because the thing with, and I give SC credit on this one, the thing with Lincoln Riley, that wasn't out there anywhere. It was all Lincoln Riley and LSU. Of course, the famous, ho, I'm not going to be the head football coach at LSU. Well,
he nailed that.
He was being honest.
Yep.
But I think at that point he knew something was cooking with USC. And if you go back, he stopped the questions immediately after that. But
that is interesting.
That was, go ahead.
No, that is interesting. The other thing you told us was that James Franklin would sign a deal soon to stay at Penn State. It happened the next day.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that USC and Lincoln Riley thing might have been done for a minute, right? And so it's pretty amazing that they kept that quiet.
Yeah, at least for a little bit. I mean, I don't know if it's been going on for 2 weeks or anything like that, but certainly you don't do that. You don't hammer that out in 24 hours.
Right.
There's some conversation, some back and forth. I think had James had a better year at Penn State, I still think he probably would have been right there near the top of SC's list. And they didn't have a great year last year, but I give everybody a break last year. That was a COVID year. It's hard to really assess anything, but didn't have the best year this year, but still got a sweet deal. He's making, I think, $8.5 million. But the Mel Tucker deal is the one.
Ooh, baby.
That has blown everything out the roof. To get $95 million, I think Mel's a really good football coach and done a terrific job at Michigan State. But when you look at his record, championships, lack of championships versus what's Dabo Swinney going to get? What's Kirby Smart going to get? Right? Especially if Kirby goes on to win the national championship this year. And there are coaches, I talked to some ADs already that are just absolutely shaking their heads saying, good grief. We're going to get to the point to where mid-tier coaches, guys who never won squat, we're going to be paying them $5, $6, $7 million.
Let's Chris Lowe with us from ESPN.com, national senior college football writer for ESPN. Let's go back to your quote that you gave us about Josh Heupel in Oklahoma. I would not completely rule it out, but I think he's way down the list. Now, Tennessee fan will go back, and I will too. Lane Kiffin told Tennessee, look, that's my dream job. And then when the job came open, he told him, look, I'm way down the list. But if it gets to me, look out.
It got to him, Chris. It got to him.
So how is that situation
and
different,
why,
do you think?
I'm glad you asked me that, man, because that's exactly why you never rule anything out. Because in coach searches, it can change very, very quickly. And if Venables says no, and Matt Campbell decides he doesn't want it, and they can't go get let's say Mark Stoops, they don't want a defensive guy, and they're just dead set on getting an offensive guy. Then then maybe Josh comes into play, but the Kiffin SC thing is a good comparison because I was pretty close to that situation. I'd heard his name a couple of days before, but some people who knew said, man, you have to have a ton of guys say no. Well, guess what? A ton of guys did say no. And I remember sitting on my couch that night getting a call and said, I'm not, because, in our world in that time of year, the last thing you want is somebody joking around with you because, these things when they take on a life of themselves. And they said, this is serious. Kiffin's going to USC. And that's all I needed to hear. And it was done. It just sort of came out of nowhere. So sometimes these things do happen. Tennessee fans know all too well with Kiffin bolting for USC in the middle of the night. I still will stand my ground on this one. I do not see that happening with Heupel. I think Heupel's at Tennessee. I think he'll be here. I think he wants to continue building. He likes it here. And again, I think when you look at all the other things that I laid out for you, reasons why, I think there's too many guys that they're looking at. I think his exit at Oklahoma, there's a lot of that's out there that says to me, based on others I've talked to, that he's probably not going to be the guy there. But, you never say never. And I'm glad you asked that about Kiffin because that's the reason when you get into the coach search season, you never close the book on anything.
CeeLo, I'll tell you this, and I'm going to get on out of here. They better not.
Slay.
I bleed it. I'm telling you. I bleed orange, man. But if this happens, I'm telling you right now, I don't care how far down the list he is, they're going to have to give me a blood transfusion to get the orange back in my blood. Because it's going to be hard for me to chill from this point on.
Hey, all you got to do is cut a check. Keep Heupel there.
Take care of it. There you go.
I'm just saying, man.
Well, I tell you what, Slay. Why don't you and all the heavy hitters, you and Peyton and Al, we can bring in Tobias Harris. We can bring in all that. Todd Helton made a few dollars from doing the major league baseball.
Alan Houston back out and everything.
Grant Williams, R.A. Dickey, he's in Nashville.
R.A. Dickey.
Mookie just signed. He wanted to go to UT. We might need to pull Mookie in there too. So
yeah. You're welcome.
Alvin Kamara, and you guys just all stroke a check and say, "Here, Josh, there's no need for you to ever look anywhere else."
Chris, just on the way out before we go, it's interesting. We've gone through all these, different jobs, and the name that people are talking about, but just never pops up for specific jobs is Fickle. And obviously he's been pretty clear about I don't want to talk about it till after a season, right? But where are we with him?
Well, and thank you, because I was with Luke 3 weeks ago and spent some time with him. He, to me, is one of the premier coaches in all of America.
No doubt.
If you wanted a guy that is a proven commodity, who's done it, who's got a great pedigree, it's him. But his team's getting ready to get in the playoff. And just based on my time with him, if his team's in the playoff, Don, he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him.
So it has to be somebody that's patient enough to wait.
He's a Midwestern guy. He told me, I asked him, I said, look, have you ever stepped foot out, jokingly, have you ever stepped foot out of the state of Ohio? He said he's only lived 13 months in his whole life out of Ohio when he was on the practice squad with the New Orleans Saints. Wow. I think it's got to be for him, Notre Dame or Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think those are the two jobs that he will patiently sit there, continue coaching. They're going to the Big 12 in a couple of years, Cincinnati is. Mm-hmm. I think he's in a great spot. He's got a really good football team. They're going to the playoff. I just would be shocked to see him, certainly before. Now, if someone wants to wait till January 5th, 6th, and offer him about $12 million, which I just don't see LSU or anybody at Oklahoma waiting that long. I don't think they can.
They can't.
But with his team in the playoff, I think you're going to see him stay at Cincinnati.
Great stuff,
Good
CeeLo.
stuff.
Appreciate it, Chris. Thank you.
All right, guys.
I know you're busy. Thanks, Chris.
A little bit.
Yep.
See you guys.
See you. Chris Lowe on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline, 615-737-1045. Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, maybe something a little more reliable than what's sitting in your driveway or garage. Maybe repair bills are getting to you, and you need something new that you don't have to worry about that. My friends at Gupton can help you. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. These guys are waiting for you to give them a shout. You can check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is the website. All the dealership information is there. The inventory is there. GuptonMotors.com. Go check them out. If you're looking around dealership to dealership, make sure you include these guys. Best car buying experience you will ever have. I've bought multiple vehicles from them. They are awesome people. Daniel Gupton and the guys ready to help you. Take 24 West to exit 35, straight shot, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, about 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Go see my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and tell them Brent sent you.
You guys, we are so excited. 3HL has a new title sponsor.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know who the most interesting man in the world is. It's this guy right here.
And this man is Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert.
You guys are all pretty interesting too, and you've had a heck of a career, sir. So I won't take the claim as most interesting man in the world, but I am the fastest in the mortgage business, guaranteed. I can close loans in 14 days or less. I give my clients the best customer service on the planet, and they know that, and they refer like crazy. They send more people our way. We're blessed. We're happy for all of our past clients, and we're so excited to be kicking this off and being part of the 3HLA family. We might have to make it 4, a 3+, or something like that. I don't know. But
the more the merrier, right?
Yes.
obviously a huge fan of the show, and all of you, and the whole station. Everybody's just been so big in our success at the Home Loan Expert. So we're just honored. We're humbled to be in this position. If you're a homeowner out there, learn more about us and visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Chris Les says he doesn't see it happening. But in this business, man, this coaching search business, you never say never on stuff.
I didn't see Lincoln Riley happening, and neither did most of his players.
I still love Cliff Kingsbury's quote today when asked about the OU vacancy. Quote, not a topic I want to touch right now, end quote. What a perfect.
Definitely don't see that happening.
What a perfect, just freaking balls out move.
Yeah.
Hey, Cardinals.
You're on the clock.
I got 1 year left on my contract. Get on it.
Get the checkbook out.
You're on the clock.
Man, unbelievable.
Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Does it always happen this early? Like this, isn't this a little earlier than normal? Like this coaching carousel?
It's normally the last day after it's the first day after the regular season.
But here's the problem. They started that early signing period.
You got to get on it.
And now you don't have a choice. Because remember, there was so much talk. Heupel got there so late. He got there the day before the first signing period, basically.
The first signing period is the real signing period.
So you have to, you don't have a choice. And it's interesting because I just worked that SMU Tulsa game, and Sonny Dykes obviously had already accepted the TCU job.
Which you knew, and then Coach Max said it on our show.
Correct.
So did.
Yes.
Which was great. He's like, I talked to him today.
But when we were talking to him, he was like, yeah, I know. When we were talking to him, it was like, he's like, you handle it the best you can. He wanted to finish out this season with his team. But he's like, it's not fair to the kids, but it's the NCAA's fault. It's the rules that are in place here. You don't have a choice. You have to make these moves. Like Chris Lowe was talking when we were talking about Luke Fickell, you can't afford to wait because let's say you're LSU and you wait, right, to the end. James Franklin's already re-signed.
Yep.
Lincoln Riley is already at USC. The Sonny Dykes is to TCU. All of these things have already happened around you where coaches are signing or staying. And there has actually been a lot of coaches that have decided to stay this year and sign extensions. The James Franklin one stands out. Dave Clawson at Wake Forest, not that I know Tennessee fans were not in love with him from an offensive standpoint, but that was another one. He decided to sign an extension. Oh, by the way, Duke's open too. Our guy Cut's gone. We forgot to talk about that as well. So, you have all these, what happens at Miami. If you're going to make a move, you have to make it and you have to go find your new coach because otherwise your solid coaches that are out there are either re-signed for a long time, Mel Tucker, or they're already moving on.
Think about the level of job that was open this year, and some still are, but Florida, LSU, Miami, that's the other one, USC, Oklahoma. I mean, think about the level of job.
Just in the SEC.
Florida State.
Just Florida and LSU and USC, those three, and that's it. I mean.
I meant the state, But
we got you.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Florida, it's wild.
And then John Bryce throws out there with footballscoop.com the Brian Kelly and LSU stuff that there's interest from both
And what
sides.
if he moves and then Notre Dame's open? And I mean, wow.
There's also a little nugget that, so this time of year you hear all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Some of them make a little more sense than others. Like watch the LSU and Notre Dame thing happen. I don't know. But it doesn't feel like Brian Kelly and Baton Rouge makes a lot of sense to me. It just doesn't. But watch it happen. I don't know. Weird things happen. But somebody threw one at you that actually makes a lot of sense, and I know nothing about any of this.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
So Mr. Bab's best buddy lives in Chicago. And so the talk there is the Chicago rumors are that Ryan Day,
Ohio State football coach,
Ohio State head coach, is heading to the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears, which then Brent was like, oh, yeah, the Justin Fields connection there.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yes. And then if
immediately,
Ohio State's open, you know who's going there, Luke Fickell.
Yeah.
Right, from Cincinnati, then Cincinnati's open. How does this all play out?
And maybe that's why we haven't heard Luke Fickell's name, because all this is going to happen.
Maybe he knows more.
The Cincinnati job's a little bit different now that they're heading to a Power 5.
And the Bears, right. Well, so the Bears could wait. That's not a problem. But Ohio State, maybe, I don't know. Early signing period's kind
This is really a circus.
Like, no question.
Like, and then we ain't even got to the part where you start throwing players in. Like the players, once the coaches get settled, then the players start flipping.
Oh, the portal news is it's crazy right now.
Yeah, portal news is going to be even crazier once you start getting into spring practice and players start seeing the depth chart as well.
This just out from all of this, 24/7, all of them have it. Christian Harrison, who is the son of Rodney Harrison, former All-Pro safety in the NFL, has committed to Tennessee. 6'5", 185-pound cornerback. 6'5" cornerback from Atlanta, Georgia.
They were asking him, I think 2 weeks ago when Rodney Harrison was doing what does he do? The NFL Network show on Sundays or something.
Mm-hmm.
A guy in the crowd was asking him about, man, your kid going to go to Tennessee? And they were way away. I forgot where they were. He was like, man, it's his decision. It's up to him. I'm just going to support him and whatever. That's funny that happened. That's so. Hey,
that's funny.
Go get him, hype.
Speaking of Tennessee, they
beat. Better not think about leaving. My bad, man.
They did beat Vanderbilt over the weekend.
Look at you.
Spanked them up.
By the way,
what's up,
you know
Babsy?
what? I'm not going to say anything.
What's up, Babsy?
Here's where Vandy fan is.
I'm not going to say anything, but
Vandy fan is coming. I don't know about you, but was coming hard at me about how Tennessee didn't beat them by 31.
Yeah, I'd see, and I was waiting.
I was like, number one, I didn't bet that game because I didn't think that they would beat them by 31.
You said that.
But I thought that they would win easily.
Yeah, and I bet that game. And I was going to give them 34. And they would have had it if they didn't sub in.
So Vandy fans should have come at you.
And I was begging them to because I got GIFs ready that I was going to unload, baby.
GIFs.
I like how you said it right.
Yeah, that was
well
for
done.
you, Babs. Yeah, and I was ready. And they would have covered, but Hendon Hooker got hurt, and a guy dressed as Joe Milton went in.
Nope, that's actually just Joe Milton.
Oh, well,
See,
I wish it was a guy dressed as something like
I had switched it to Alabama-Auburn at that point, so I haven't gone back to watch. Was he out there playing volleyball again?
Listen, man.
Just
it was
taking people out?
RPO, man. We're on the about the 7 or 5 yard line. We're inside the 10.
Oh.
Easily about to score right here to make it 31 to cover. And the DN comes loose, and Joe Milton has the ball at least a foot away from his body, like a guy dodging cars in the street with his hands out.
What does Coach Max say? Like a puppy in the middle of the interstate?
Exactly. And all he had to do, the DN didn't even look at his body, all that wiggling he just hit the ball out of his hand. Fumble. Vandy gets the ball. So, I mean, and then when they got it back, it was like, all right, y'all, let's just get out of here. You don't even see this guy take knees, but, yeah, man.
Okay, well.
But they would have got it. But, I mean, if you feel good about 24, hey, listen.
I get it from Vandy. Listen, they've lost 21 consecutive SEC games. I get it.
No, I'm my foot on the throttle. No. Y'all accept that, roll over, get your anchor and push. That's what you do. We ain't got time, man. We worry about bowling. What size shoe you wear, sir? Okay, let me disinfect these shoes, put them on, go have a good time at the bowling alley. That's what we at with it. Drop us off. We'll call you when we want you to pick us up. Yeah. We'll call you, Vandy, when we want you to pick us up. Thanks, Mom, for dropping me off at the bowling alley. We'll call you when we're ready.
By the way, Cedric Tillman.
I mean, Tennessee didn't cover.
They didn't cover.
But guess who won? Because
Okay,
even though I said 34, I bet 21.
But you don't get to. But you also don't get to play both sides.
I'm cool. I'm still telling them, come at me.
I'm just
come
saying.
on. Woo, Vandy, come on. Woo, come on. Please, I want it. Bring me the smoke. Leave me alone. I want you to come at me. Please, I'm dying.
I just think
35.
Tennessee fans.
Yeah.
Tennessee fans talk about
it's like 35 hotmail.
You want to throw out your AOL address?
Yeah.
I just feel like like Tennessee fan over here is on both sides of the fence. Like,
listen.
It's a moral victory when Alabama doesn't cover, Florida doesn't, or somebody doesn't cover.
Wait. You're talking about top 3 teams in the country. You're talking about 7 and 5 Tennessee.
Come on now. It wasn't even second and last. It was finished to finish second and last.
Stuff that you're spewing right now.
Babs.
I'm just pointing it out. I'm not taking
sides. Tell them to bring it. Tell them to bring it. Matter of fact, 5 out of the 9, whatever y'all want to, bring it. It won't happen no more.
5 and 5 in the last 10.
It won't happen. Here goes the spike. I got the mallet. Boom. You're gone. Bye-bye.
5-5 in the last.
Man, yeah, get them out of here.
Hey.
Like, yeah, man, we'll bulldog them folks, man.
3-0 in the last 3.
Man, dog walk them. Man, I told you special teams was going to score. Man, Theo Jackson, man. Theo Jackson, go to the house, man. Y'all lucky. Y'all lucky Joe Milton got in that game.
Joe Hunk, we need to take a break.
Yes.
Hit it.
Scott on Twitter, which Buffalo Wild Wings location will you guys be at tomorrow? We will not be at Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow. Unfortunately, due to the bye week, I think everyone involved in watching, playing for, working in the building, everybody needs a bye week on that deal. Even though they're 8-4 and they're going to win the AFC South, I still feel comfortable about that. But we will not be at Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll be the next Tuesday in Franklin. So get that done. Action247.com. That is the local legal sports book, the only one in the state of Tennessee. So get that done. I like the under tonight, just for the record, 47. You can choose what direction you want to go. Action247.com. Get signed up, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. Also, the apps are up and running, so get that done. That's how you can check the lines very, very quickly. Seattle a 2-point favorite now. Game's been a pick 'em all week long. So what happened? I don't know, but you can make your own call there. Action247.com, bet local, the only local legal sportsbook in the state of Tennessee. They've always got promos going. They also have a free-to-play portion of their website as well. If you don't want to bet money, you can participate there and win prizes. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Very proud of one Don Davenport for lots of reasons.
Not pressing send.
Yeah.
Basically.
You kind of did, but you didn't.
Oh, no. If I would have pressed send, I'd been in jail right now. Because I'd have punched somebody.
Yeah.
Telling me
Come at you like
I
a
can't do
spider
my
monkey.
job.
Yeah. How you going to tell me what I can't do?
Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Rod Slate. What game are you working this week?
I'm off. I'm doing high school football.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not off. I'm calling high school football.
That's right. I knew that.
Yes.
Got to remind me of things every so often.
That's all right.
Cedric Tillman, real quick, Tennessee wide receiver, last 6 games, 41 receptions, 721 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
Oh.
He got at least 1 touchdown in all 6 of those games. For the season, 57 receptions, 931 yards, 9 touchdowns. His 9 touchdowns are tied for 8th all-time in a season for wide receiver U.
D-O-G.
By the way, Tennessee's last 1,000-yard receiver,
Who?
Justin Hunter, 2012.
Oh, my gosh.
Another D-O-G.
I love that guy.
So he is 69 yards away from that. Hendon Hooker on the season, 69% completion percentage, 2,567 yards, needs 233 for 10th all-time in a season. Of course, didn't start the first 2 games.
Crazy.
And has left the fourth quarter now several times.
You going to a bowl game?
I mean, if they go to Florida, I might.
Yeah.
If they go to right down the street, I might.
Yeah.
If they go to Charlotte, North Carolina,
We might.
have fun.
That ain't far, man.
Come on, show trip.
Yeah.
7th all-time for touchdown passes in a season with 26. He needs 1 more to become 4th all-time on that list. What else? Hendon Hooker has thrown – oh, check this out. Hendon Hooker has thrown at least 1 touchdown pass in 11 straight games, which is tied for the 4th longest streak in the history of Tennessee football.
That's crazy that's the street.
11. He's tied with Eric Ainge and Peyton Manning. If he throws one more in the bowl game, he'll tie Casey Clausen for 3rd all time. If he comes back to school and throws one in the opener next year, he'll tie Tony Robinson for 2nd all time with 13.
T-Rob.
Heath Schuler has the record with 18 consecutive games with at least 1 touchdown pass.
That's something.
Interesting. Hey, real quick, I just want to remind everybody that we are going to be out at Nissan Stadium for Toy Field. We're building a field of toys. It helps the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program, presented by T-Mobile. It's Tuesday, December 7th. Put it on your calendar at Nissan Stadium. If you're out doing holiday shopping, grab an extra toy if you have the means to do it. Stop by Nissan Stadium, see us there, and you can donate the toy. We basically build this entire field full of toys for the Forgotten Angels. Mm-hmm. It's an awesome thing. So if you want more info, it's 1045thezone.com.
Is it weird that a week from tomorrow is December 7th?
Yeah. I mean, we're 4 weeks away from Christmas. Get on it.
Stop it, Davenport.
I know.
My wife's birthday's on December 8th. I still haven't gotten her anything.
You might need some money for Christmas gift buying.
Can we give a shout out to UT Martin, one OVC?
There you go.
Belmont.
Great weekend.
Man, great weekend for Belmont.
Almost got it done last night, too.
Yeah, almost.
And it's time for the parlay. Real quick.
Parlay.
Mike Vrabel's coming up.
You got 30 seconds.
Seahawks to win, money line, and under. Some 46.5, some 47. Under, though.
It's Russell Wilson's birthday.
And it's his birthday. And it's brought to you by IntelliTurf. My man, Ken McMillan. Y'all holla at him.
I'm going to holler at him.
Yeah.
Get your turf around
Get
your
you some turf, man.
Turf, yes.
Yeah. Pooping all over the place.
Poopy.
He did tell me. He was like,
poopy.
Davenport, you talk about poop a lot.
Poop factory at Davenport.
Yep.
There you go. 615-804-4927. Holla at Ken McMillan. My man, IntelliTurf.
There you go.
Rachel is presented to you by Ryan Kelly, HomeLoanExpert.com.
Glad to have him on board.
Yep, good dude.
Woo!
All right, back at it tomorrow again.
No
We
wash
will
away
not
toast.
be at Buffalo Wild Wings. We could still wash away.
We can wash away tomorrow.
There we go. That's
Yeah.
cool.
You
We
bringing
need
the
to wash
keg?
away.
Tennessee basketball tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. It's Presbyterian.
Bringing the keg.
Yeah.
Coach Vrabel next.
Tighten up.